Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, State Farm, mtownproud.com.
Touchdown, Bobcats, Davis Ragland, pick six. Feldman, that one will get in. That's a good point right there. A shot coming here, that's a goal! Lifted to left center field, gets off the warning track into the wall. Transition three, boom! Knocks that one down, and it's a goal. What a beautiful play! Dutton, look what I found over to first. Gets a 3-on-1 all the way. Yes! There he goes. Over the middle of the field, beautiful one-handed catch by Johan Gomez. Moves the chains up near the 30. Trayshawn Brooks makes the catch at the 25. Breaks two tackles. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Do you think he'll set him on fire if we ask?
Hi, Mom.
On KFJB-TV, it's Bobcat Game Day Live.
Well, the home of Roger Craig, three-time Super Bowl champion, a Davenport Central graduate. We take on the Davenport North Wildcats tonight. Welcome into Bobcat Game Day Live. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside. Also the home of Zach Tomish as well, too. So, I mean, it's a town of a lot of memorable names here, Dylan.
Yeah, Zach was already waxing poetic about how much candy he's eaten at the Brady Street field here today. So, yeah, memories just rolling back.
Brady Street also happens to be one of my top 10 least favorite streets I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah, so Siri took us some places. We were patient. We saw a lot of Davenport. We weren't intending to, but we got here.
Someone said there's a river nearby, but I don't think
I don't think it's that close.
We have not found that so far. So anyway, happy to have you along here tonight. A long road trip for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Their first road test of the season. 0-2. Looking for a big victory. Maybe being on the road might actually help them here tonight.
Yeah, you get on the road. Maybe you don't have to go from school, hear everything. You've gotten away. You've got that long bus ride. You got your mind right. Plus, we also see a couple big Bobcats will be back on the field here tonight, speaking specifically of Johan Gomez, who was just incredibly disruptive in the latter part of last year. Did not play in this game last year, but he'll be here, and especially with Xavier Anderson out and all that authority he brings on the defensive side, it's going to be nice to have Gomez back.
Plus, he'll be the backup tight end here tonight. We saw him a couple touchdowns late in the year last year. He's really a field stretcher. He's one of those guys is a mismatch problem that the Wildcats will really have to fend with here tonight.
You're 6'4", you're 230, 240, athletic as all get out. He's got some wheels when he terrorizes quarterbacks from the defensive end position, but you get him on a seam with that, he's got breakaway speed when it comes to the tight end position.
Wildcats, Bobcats coming up in just a little bit at 7:30 tonight. Real quick, we're going to talk about scouting report, but this is a team that spreads it out four wide for the Wildcats. They do a lot of things offensively, and then as we saw the rushing attack, Max Bogan, 3 rushing touchdowns a year ago in this game. So is it going to be a real challenging night for this defense?
I think it will be, but it comes down to which Davenport North team will we face. Last year is Bogan ran for over 200 yards, had no problems with the Bobcats defense. Kaz, their quarterback, was efficient but didn't throw it a whole lot. This year, it's a different ball game. Bogan struggled, but Rabarchich has had no problem, especially when it goes to Barrage on the outside, his key wide receiver.
Yeah, That is for sure. All right, a lot coming up in our Bobcat Game Day Live, including coming up next, it's our Radio Iowa Scouting Report, all brought to you by Rainbow Car Wash in Marshalltown. This is Bobcat Game Day Live. You're watching KFJB-TV.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
On KFJB-TV, it's Bobcat Game Day Live.
From Radio Iowa Sports, this is the Scouting Report, an in-depth look at this week's prep and college games. Now from our studios in Des Moines, Todd Kim.
The Hawkeyes look to bounce back at home against Arkansas State. UNI's on the road to take on Nebraska, while Week 3 of the high school season features a trio of top 5 showdowns. That and more on the Scouting Report.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
The Iowa Hawkeyes claim they've moved on from a loss to Iowa State as they get ready to host Troy. It certainly hasn't been easy after a stunning second-half collapse that saw the Cyclones trail 13-0 at halftime and 19-7 in the third quarter. The offense has been sporadic through 2 games, but the run game has showed significant improvement. The Hawkeyes are averaging 222 yards on the ground. The pass game, though, well, that's been a different story. Cade McNamara was just 13 of 29 against ISU for 99 yards and 2 interceptions.
But, if we're going to play the way we want to play, we're going to have to pass the ball more effectively. That certainly was a factor Saturday. And hopefully it's just, something we'll keep getting better at as we move forward. And we've done some good things, done some things that weren't so good. And, it's a little bit of everything, accuracy, route running, things like that, and protection at times. So those are the things that we got to get pieced together, and there's still a lot to work on. There will be all season long.
That's Iowa coach Kirk Ferentz. Former Purdue and Notre Dame assistant Jared Parker is in his first season at Troy after a mass player exodus following an 11-win season and a coaching change. The Trojans are giving up 212 yards on the ground per game in an 0-2 start after losses to Nevada and Memphis. And Parker says improved tackling and being gap sound will be crucial against the Hawkeyes.
In its simplest form, it's one man, one gap on defense. We have to keep gap control and own our gaps by scheme. And then when we get there, we better arrive with the right ball foot and ball shoulder to tackle better and pursue and gang tackle to put ourselves in the best position to handle what will be a wonderful rushing attack in Iowa.
It's a 3 o'clock kickoff in Kinnick Stadium. Fox Sports 1 has the coverage. UNI's 2-0 on the young season and ranked 21st in the FCS coaches poll heading into tomorrow night's visit to Nebraska. It'll be a homecoming of sorts for several Nebraska natives on the Panther roster.
For these players, these hometown guys, to be able to go back, I'm sure they grew up Cornhuskers, and so I'm sure it's a huge deal for them to go on that football field. So yeah, there'll be a lot of emotion going into this thing, as there is in any kind of game like this for them, as for everybody, because that place is electric.
That's Panther coach Mark Farley. Nebraska's 23rd in the AP poll after a win over Colorado and is 2-0 on the season. After facing 2 spread teams to begin the season, Coach Matt Rule says the Panthers provide a much different challenge.
Well, now you're facing, the number 4 rushing offense in FCS. You're facing, 298 yards a game, and you're facing a coach, and Coach Farley, who's won a ton of games. And so you better be ready for a physical battle with the way that they play, run defense and run offense.
It's a 6:30 kickoff in Lincoln. It'll be televised by the Big Ten Network. Fourth-ranked Grandview's on the road for an early Heart of America Conference showdown at Benedictine of Kansas. Grandview's favored in the North Division, Benedictine favored in the South.
I mean, they're a really good football team. They've been in the playoffs 2 of the last 3 years and were a sliver away last year. And quite frankly, we played in the playoffs, had 2 games in the playoffs, and they're right up there with those teams we played. I can promise you that.
Grandview coach Joe Woodley. High school football's next on the Scouting Report.
Okay, gonna be late. Gotta go. Where'd I put? Wallet. Check. And phone. Check. Keys. Check. Lunch. Check.
Checking for the things you need doesn't take long. But what about checking for your safety? Right now, 1 in every 5 vehicles on the road has an open safety recall. But it only takes seconds to check for open recalls on your car at checktoprotect.org. All you need is your vehicle identification number or license plate number. Your automaker may not have the right information to notify you about recalls by mail, especially if you recently moved or drive an older or used car. Checktoprotect.org is the quick, easy way to find out if your vehicle has an open safety recall and find the closest dealer who can make the repair for free.
Laptop. Check.
Before you go, take a minute. Visit checktoprotect.org. Check to Protect is a program of the National Safety Council.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
2 of the top teams in 8-player District 8 collide tonight as third-ranked Lennox hosts number 2 Bedford. Both teams off to 2-0 starts. Bedford coach Jeremy Nally says it's a big early season test for his team.
We have a lot of kids back from last year's team. This is one of those games that the kids love. They get up for it. It's Bedford versus Lennox. It wouldn't matter if one team was 0-8 and the other one was 8-0. Both teams get up for each other.
Lennox co-head coach Cole Bond says it will be an outstanding high school atmosphere.
And all of Taylor County will be there, and I'm sure some of the surrounding counties will be there. It's going to be a unbelievable environment. It's going to be a really good football game with 2 really good teams, and it's always good to have 2 competitive teams in the same county, and it just makes things really interesting, a lot of fun.
Also an 8-player, top-ranked Algona Garrigan's on the road at North Iowa. Number 4 Remsen St. Mary's hosts West Bend Mallard. Class A tonight, the front runner in District 2 will be determined when third-ranked West Hancock hosts number 5 St. Ansgar. Zarin Eggesdahl has a preview.
Yes, it's week 3 of the high school football season, but a district title could be decided in Britt this evening as West Hancock, the defending Class A state champions, take on St. Ansgar, the only team to beat West Hancock last year on this same week 3 1 year ago. Though the Eagles don't feel it as a revenge game rather than expose what they needed to work on.
It's a great measuring stick for where we're at. So, we hang our hat on being physical, and we'll know if we're physical or not, and who the more physical team is. The game we look forward to. It's a game that we got to compete. We better be ready.
That's West Hancock coach Mark Sanger. St. Ansgar coach Drew Clevenger said they caught West Hancock at the right time last year, and last year proves that no matter who wins this year, there will still be a state championship to play for.
Last year shows that no matter who comes out on top this Friday over in Britt, I think we're two of the top teams in the state. So whoever wins, obviously you feel better about 3-0, but whoever loses at 2-1 still has a lot to play for.
It's Class A, number 3 West Hancock, hosting Class A, number 5 St. Ansgar from Sanger Field in Britt at 7 p.m. this evening. I'm Zarin Eggesdahl for the Radio Iowa Scouting Report.
Also in Class A, top-ranked Woodbury Central hosts Logan Magnolia. It's second-ranked ACGC at Panorama, while fourth-ranked Lisbon is on the road to take on Columbus. Class 1A tonight, it's top-ranked OABCIG at home against 2A, number 3 West Lyon. Second-ranked Grundy Center visits Pella Christian. It's third-ranked Wilton hosting Comanche. while number 4 Emmetsburg is on the road at Sheldon. This season, Bex is recognizing student athletes that are not just a star in athletics, but a player that shows heart in school, at work, through the community, and in the ag industry. For North Iowa's Jamison Kramersmeyer, his first memory on the farm was when his grandfather taught him how to drive a tractor.
It has a hand clutch, so you got to push it forward to make it go forward, and he was letting me do that, and I pushed it forward a little bit too fast, and he popped a wheelie. Morgan Brown of Benton Community has not grown up on a farm, but her interest in agriculture began when she took a job on a dairy farm through FFA.
And I just asked my advisor if she knew of any farmers that were looking for workers, and she gave me the contact of my current boss now. And then that's how I started working there on the farm. Algona's Ace Studer already has his own goat herd, which not only taught him the value of hard work, but the business side of agriculture.
I learned a lot from the health of goats and stuff. So if they're sick, what shots to give them. I would work with our dad with that. He'd help a lot with that, and then just stuff like that. So I just learned what it takes a lot to do for the production and stuff.
Jace Johnson of Linville Sully has been showing pigs since the age of 6. He's a 3-sport athlete who also worked as a pollinator during the summer and says it taught him the value of dedication.
Let's say, one day I just think, I don't have to do this today. It'll be fine if I don't. And in the long run of showing pigs, or even being in athletics, you're not going to be able to just gain anything from that if you don't do anything.
Nominate a student athlete by searching Beck's Player with Heart. The rest of Week 3 is next on the Scouting Report.
At Beck's, we stand up for the things that matter most: our faith, our independence, and helping farmers succeed. As the largest family-owned seed company in the U.S., we believe in the integrity of remaining an independent family-owned seed company. Since our founding in 1937, we have continued to produce quality products backed by a quality family of employees and dealers dedicated to serving American farmers. And that's something to be proud of. Beck's, founded in faith, forged in America. For more information, visit BecksHybrids.com.
When you think of a healthy relationship, what comes to mind? Is it arguments, secrets, neglecting responsibilities, violence, or stress? These aren't healthy, but can happen with family, friends, and loved ones if alcohol or drug use has taken over their life. If you are experiencing problems in your relationships, take the first step to talk to someone about finding resources or even treatment options. We walk beside you so you are never alone. Call, text, or chat online 24/7 for free at yourlifeiowa.org. A message from Iowa HHS.
The Scouting Report from Radio Iowa Sports.
Class 4A 4th-ranked North Polk is off to a 2-0 start and will be at home tonight against Webster City. Quinn Douglas has a preview.
Webster City and North Polk got together for an instant classic in 2023, which resulted in a 21-20 win for Webster City. 2024 sees both teams with many new faces, but Webster City head coach Andy Brim still has high praise for the Comets.
They're very good, well coached, disciplined, so we're going to have to execute, and I don't want to say that we have to play perfect, but we need to be pretty close to it.
North Polk has been cardiac Comets of sorts after come-from-behind wins over Bondurant Farrar and Carlisle, which head coach Tim TeBrink owes to leadership.
We had a group of kids in the locker room that didn't quit at halftime, and we just kind of chipped away and were able to get a win in overtime. And then different type of feeling, tied at halftime, made some adjustments and got out in the third quarter. Got some points on the board, and then traded some scores in the fourth quarter.
For the Radio Iowa Scouting Report in KQWC, this is Quinn Douglas.
There are 3 rated matchups in 4A. Top-ranked Lewis Central hosts number 10 Adel 8 a.m. It's third-ranked Cedar Rapids Xavier at number 9 Western Dubuque. 8th-ranked Pella hosts number 6 Indianola. Pella coach Jay McKinstry says how their defensive line holds up will be a key. It was a major factor in Indianola's 30-21 win in this game a season ago.
Their offensive line is physical and big. We thought they were really good last year. They may be a little better this year up front. They're incredibly good on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. But and then their running back's very good too, and they got a different quarterback in there that's very talented this year. And just so physical up front. And they just they manhandled us last year, and we certainly got our work cut out for us this year to try and do something on the line of scrimmage, at least try and hold the line of scrimmage.
3A, top-ranked Clear Lake hosts Iowa Falls Alden. It's number 2 Williamsburg at Clear Creek Amana. Third-ranked Algona hosts Esterville Lincoln Central. 2A, it's a battle of unbeatens as 10th-ranked Cherokee hosts Ridgeview. Caleb Claycamp reports.
I got a chance to speak with head coach Tony Gunter of the Cherokee Braves on tonight's matchup.
We're both run heavy, so neither one of us have been forced to go to the passing game. We've been working hard, making sure we're ready for whatever they do, and we want to be a little more balanced this Friday.
On the opposite sideline will be first-year Ridgeview Raptors head football coach Brian Wilkett and the undefeated 2-0 Ridgeview Raptors.
It's day-to-day and week-to-week, just trying to get better each and every day and trying to get better each and every week. I know they're 2-0. Got a tremendous football player in Jackson Road, and he's got a number of kids around him that can also play.
Cherokee versus Ridgeview tonight. Only one team will remain undefeated. For your Radio Iowa Scouting Report, I'm Caleb Claycamp.
Also in 2A, top-ranked Van Meter hosts 3A, number 6 Humboldt. It's second-ranked Spirit Lake on the road at Spencer. Fourth-ranked PCM Monroe plays host to 3A, number 8 Nevada. And in Class 5A tonight, it's top-ranked Dowling Catholic at Ankeny. Number 2 Waukee is at home against Sioux City North, while third-ranked Ankeny Centennial is at number 6 Cedar Falls. That's all for the Scouting Report. For Radio Iowa Sports, I'm Todd Keel.
Rainbow Car Wash has been in town over 40 years. New owners Brett and Kim Canaday have been with Rainbow for more than 35 years, focusing on quality, cleanliness, and great customer service. Open 24 hours year-round with 2 convenient locations. Each location has 2 oversized truck bays to accommodate large vehicles. All bays accept quarters. And for your convenience, newly installed credit, debit, Apple Pay, and Samsung Pay featuring Swipe or Tap to Pay, powerful vacuums, and a great selection of vending supplies. Follow us on Facebook at Rainbow Car Wash, LLC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Assured Partners, power through partnership. Greg Young Chevrolet of Marshalltown. Drive with Greg Young and experience top auto service and selection. And Lennox Employees Credit Union, LennoxECU.com.
Brady Street Stadium in Davenport, the host site for tonight's matchup between the Marshalltown Bobcats, 0-2 on the season. Wildcats are 2-0. As last week they took down Davenport Assumption, first time in a long time that they were able to do that feat. Time to look around the conference tonight, all presented by Real Deals in downtown Marshalltown. Of course, not in conference, but number 1 in 5A now this week is Dowling. They scored a big win last week.
Yeah, they got Southeast Polk, and that's a big one. Whenever you can go in, get that win. But if you're in 5A and you're traveling to Cedar Rapids Prairie, that's not going to be much easier for them.
That is for sure. Definitely a big night around the state of Iowa, including some good games. Iowa City and Ames.
Need whatever revenge the Hawks can get as City High takes on the Little Cyclones. Little Cyclones struggling to start off the year. See if the Cyhawks can get them to avenge the loss of the Big Hawks.
Yeah, that is for sure. We'll be keeping an eye on it. More scores around the state of Iowa throughout the night, thanks to Jeff Brooks back at the studios. But any other big games that you might be keeping your eye on here tonight?
What I'm looking at, you have Ankeny Centennial as well. Ankeny Centennial is at Cedar Falls, and you also have Dowling is at Ankeny. Ankeny, of course, lost to Centennial earlier this year. Let's see how legit Dowling is.
Yeah, that is for sure a good early season test for them as well. We've got a good one coming up for you here tonight. East Marshall, West Marshall, all in action tonight as well, and we'll take a look at that as Dylan will have a preview of those games coming up. That is our look around the conference and scores we're keeping our eye on tonight, all brought to you by Real Deals. Tell them go Bobcats for a special discount located in downtown Marshalltown. This is Bobcat Game Day Live from Davenport, right here on your home for the Cats. News Talk 1230 AM 93.9 FM, and here on KFJB-TV.
Hey Bobcat fans, are you looking for the latest in home decor and women's fashion? Real Deals is a locally owned boutique right here in downtown Marshalltown. We're your one-stop shop for home decor, the latest in women and teens fashion, plus a great place to get gifts for all the loved ones. Stop by our boutique and say, "Go Bobcats!" for a special discount. Real Deals is open Wednesday through Saturday. Grab a friend, bring your family members, and see what our locally owned boutique is all about. Can't wait to see you at Real Deals in downtown Marshalltown.
On KFJB-TV, it's Bobcat Game Day Live.
Welcome back in. It's now time for the West Marshall preview presented by Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center. Open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30. Ben I'm Gone Gonzalez really made a season debut after scuffling in that first game loss. He went off last week. 218 yards, 3 touchdowns on only 18 carries last week. West Marshall got after it. They just steamrolled South Hamilton 56-6. Those in the west side of the county have to be breathing a sigh of relief because that looks like the Trojan team they're used to. But next up, no pushover. As Hampton Dumont Cal comes in at 2-0, they have only given up 1 touchdown all year long. And I really believe if West Marshall is going to move to 2-1, climb over that over 500, it's going to have to be more of Ben Gonzalez on the ground. They're going to have to be efficient in the air. But last year in this same game, Gonzalez ran for over 200 yards last week. In this same game last year, he ran for 32. West Marshall only ran for 62 yards. I think 200 is the magic number for West Marshall. If they get 200 on the ground, West Marshall moves to 2-1 against Hampton Dumont Cal here tonight. And that has been your West Marshall preview presented by Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center. Open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30, and we'll be back with the East Marshall preview.
Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken and West Marshall football have long been State Center traditions. And with a year full of changes, it seems like traditions are harder and harder to come by. While where you enjoy it might have changed, Bailey's commitment to delicious pizza and roasted chicken can still be found in every bite. Enjoy the local tradition of Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken, open Friday through Sunday, 4:30 to 8:30 for carry-out only. Bailey's Pizza and Roasted Chicken in State Center, proud sponsors of West Marshall football.
On KFJB-TV, it's Bobcat Game Day Live.
Welcome back into the East Marshall preview presented by Laurel Diesel Services, your locally owned, qualified diesel mechanics. Man alive, I've been talking to some East Marshall alums, faithful fellow alums this week. There is a lot of excitement on the east side of the county as it's been since September 11th, 2020, the last time East Marshall sat at 2-0. The undefeated season would come to an end that very next week against South Tama. But is this year different? This year, the only thing standing between the Mustangs and 3-0 is a 3-name school. It's Eddyville, Blakeburg, Fremont, who sits at 0-2. They have not had a great year. East Marshall has a chance here tonight. Eddyville did take them down last year 36-29, but they ran all over the Mustangs. All those big numbers, all those big players, they're gone. It's a new lineup. But for East Marshall, last week they found a combination, Jake Farrington and Eli Burns through the air. And they know what they have in Drew Weeder on the ground. I think tonight, if they can put both of those together, and if Xavier Slifer can help run the ball, this is an East Marshall team sitting at 3-0 for the first time in a long time. And that's been your East Marshall preview presented by Laurel Diesel Services, your locally owned, qualified diesel mechanics.
When Mike Overton moved to Laurel, Iowa, he had a vision to have a diesel repair shop that would support his growing family and passion for working on diesel engines. Being part of the East Marshall community means ensuring that farmers, truck drivers, and businesses run smoothly. With a large building and state-of-the-art equipment, Laurel Diesel Services is always up for a challenge. When your farm trucks, semis, or other diesel equipment requires maintenance or the occasional repair, take it to Laurel Diesel Services.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
This is the countdown to kickoff on your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
Week number 3 is the Bobcats on the road for the first time this year as you take a look at pregame warm-ups between the Wildcats and the Bobcats. Number 84, we haven't seen him in a few weeks. Johan Gomez right there in the middle of your screen as he's getting a few practice kicks before this one. As last year, one of the strong special teams guys. And head coach Adam Goodvin mentioned that last night on Bobcat Live. Great to have him back punting-wise. Yeah. Last year he averaged about 31 yards per punt. He was a field flipper in that aspect. So not only him, a few other guys back here for the Marshalltown Bobcats and kind of looking at a team without Xavier Anderson, obviously. But other than that, pretty much at full strength here tonight.
Yeah, early on in this pregame, we talked about Johan when it comes to offense-defense, but you just mentioned punting. And if you look at last week, that third quarter, Bobcats started with the lead. They were up 7-6 coming out of the half. 2 terrible punting situations put them behind the 8 ball. That's a big deal for number 84 being back out and being able to punt the football.
A year ago in this game, Bobcats lost to this Davenport North squad, and it was a game which in the first half and for a good chunk it was fairly close. Yep. But it was a 35-21 loss for the Marshalltown Bobcats. It just so happened to be, as you see there, Xavier Anderson, it was his first game starting at running back and then moving in Jacob Hayes at quarterback. So year over year, how would you assess Jacob Hayes and his development?
So I thought last week, outside of the greatest interception I've seen in high school football by Nenow, the one hand over another defender, I thought 9 out of the 10 balls he threw were right on the money. Yeah. Some of his receivers didn't do him a whole lot of favors, but I think as a passer, he's been much more efficient, which is interesting since we've now gone to a flexbone offense, so he doesn't get as much of that opportunity. Last year, this being his first game, he did throw for almost 200 yards. He did have an 82-yard pass to Trayshawn Brooks. He did have 3 touchdowns, but he also had 3 picks. And that really was the difference maker. That was the 35-21 difference, was turning the football over, giving Davenport North opportunity to score in plus territory, and just not the ability to stop the run.
Yeah, that is for sure. We will get tonight's scouting reports on the Davenport's North Wildcats. They're 2-0 on the season. That's coming up next, all presented by Century Plumbing. This is the countdown to kickoff. You're watching KFJB-TV.
The equity in your home is power. Power to remodel your home. Take a memorable vacation. Add a deck or patio. Lennox Employees Credit Union can help you unleash the financial power you possess with a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, fund a student loan, or pay for a wedding. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA, Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com.
This is the countdown to kickoff on your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
Tonight's scouting report on the Davenport North Wildcats, all brought to you by Century Plumbing, and it starts with Kaz Rabarkak. He is the quarterback, as you see number 12 warming up there on KFJB-TV.
You look at that, last year we talked about he was efficient. He threw for 70 yards, didn't turn the ball over. This year, he's dealing. He's throwing the ball almost 230 yards, a little over 230 yards a game, does have 5 touchdowns. Throwing percentage is about 67% completion rate. And his favorite 2 targets are Cunnell Burridge, who has 6 receptions, a little over 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and Israel Harper has 9 catches for just under 140 and a touchdown. They've really been efficient with Kaz Rabarkak behind center. But then you look at Bogan, and we talked a little bit about this earlier, but Bogan is a guy who ran for almost 900 yards last year, 200-plus yards in this game. He's 27 carries. He doesn't have 100 yards total yet. But you flip it on the other side, and Davenport North's been good defensively in their 3-4 scheme, and the guy that I really like is the outside backer, Derek Pena. Over 20 tackles, but a fourth of those are tackle for loss. I really think he is going to test Jacob Hayes' decision-making when it comes to that triple option, that flex bone option. And then if you're looking those safeties, if you're looking at the safety they have in Pauly and Sheedy, they're not afraid to come up and make tackles in that run game. That really looks, if Davenport North is able to confuse Jacob Hayes in his reads, that is going to be all on Derek Pena's shoulder, and that's going to spell a long night for the Bobcats.
That is your scouting report on Davenport North, all presented by Century Plumbing, specializing in service plumbing in Marshalltown. We're at Brady Street Stadium in Davenport tonight as the Cats face off here coming up right around 7:30. Next, it's our Cat Connection and our pregame interview with head coach Adam Goodvin on the countdown to kickoff right here on KFJB-TV.
When you need a plumber quickly, try Century Plumbing of Marshalltown. We specialize in service plumbing, not new construction or large remodels, so we get to our customers faster, from clogged drains to water heaters and everything in between. We can help with a guaranteed appointment and quality, efficient service. I'm Sarah, co-owner of Century Plumbing, and I'd love to book your appointment today. Call 641-750-0108. That's 641-750-0108.
It is our Cat Connection, all brought to you by State Farm, Tyler Prashong Agency at Marshalltown, mtownproud.com, joined by junior quarterback Jacob Hayes for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Of course, last week number 2, you threw your first touchdown pass of the season, hit Kyle Smith. How good did that one feel?
Felt really good. I didn't actually know what happened. I don't know if you saw I fell down on the play. I just heard cheering. I looked up, and Kyle was in the end zone, so take it, I guess. I mean, I wish I saw it from the pocket, but I'll take the touchdown for sure.
All right, so you're a little bit of a taller guy, but you've got some tall offensive linemen. You know, you look at Jackson Hinkle and guys like that. So even though you are a little bit taller, when you look at that offensive line, like you mentioned, like you fell down or maybe you just kind of get blocked out, how difficult is that for a quarterback to find your actual passing lanes, knowing I got to hit my spot, but I also got to kind of see where I'm throwing?
To be honest, it gets easier as the game goes. Each week it's kind of like you reset, you know. You just gotta find the sweet spot, you know. I mean, I know y'all say I throw sidearm, so I always gotta get it up a little bit.
Of course, last year in this game, as you take on week number 3, Davenport North, that was your first start. Year over year, how would you assess your game?
Definitely a lot of growth for sure. Since the first game, I was really nervous. I still played somewhat well, but I was really nervous. I was kind of just taking checkdowns, taking the easy throws. I feel like now I've kind of grown to see where the mistakes are going to happen. You kind of just have to roll with it and keep playing, play with confidence.
I know you're a basketball guy. You've even got the Jordan shirt on right now as we speak. But last year, your favorite target was Trayshawn Brooks, basketball player. You also had Kyle Smith. I mean, he's a basketball player as well, a pretty decent basketball player. So what's the connection with the basketball guys out there on the football field?
I don't know what it is. I guess I just see them more often. So it's just kind of – it's not even really that, I guess. Last year, Trey, he would just get so much separation on all his routes and everything, so that just kind of felt natural. Yeah. And then Kyle, to be honest, on that play, I didn't really know if it was Aiden Smitherman or Kyle. I just saw a red jersey, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw it right there. So,
and look, you got 6 on the scoreboard. All right, so as the season kind of goes along here, what are you looking out of the offense to be able to, control time of possession, be able to execute, end drives with points on the board, that kind of thing?
I think we got to be more consistent because a lot of the times we'll score points, we'll be driving, and then we'll hit this rough spot, and we'll just stall out completely, have to punt or go for it on 4th or something, kick a field goal. So it just comes down to being more consistent and not having to settle.
Yeah. Of course, your junior year, I know basketball, we already alluded to it, but what other activities are you involved with?
Just track for now, yeah.
All right. Well, best of luck junior season. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, that is Jacob Hayes, quarterback for the Marshalltown Bobcats, and your Cat Connection, all brought to you by State Farm, Tyler Pashong Agency, mtownproud.com.
At Tyler Pashong State Farm, we are M-Town proud.
For us, M-Town Proud is about having absolute pride in the place that we live and work. The people in this community represent everything that I believe in and everything I want to instill in my children.
Hardworking,
Diverse, genuine, kind, and passionate.
a blue-collar town that has shown countless times we can depend on each other.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town proud.
Welcome back into the countdown to kickoff. It is our exterior plus home remodeling pregame interview with head coach Adam Goodvin. Week number 3 already as the Bobcats, their first road trip of the season to take on the Davenport North Wildcats. Coach, your team coming off a loss in week number 2, 28-7. It was a tale of two halves. You were up 7-6 at halftime. Week number 1 seemed like a tale of two halves. That one, it was the second half where your team played exceptionally well. The time of possession was huge. Week number 2 last week. What's kind of led to, I guess, the tale of two halves the first couple of weeks for your team?
Well, I think we got to play a complete football game. I think that's obvious. And, we understand that we've got a lot of guys that are playing both sides of the football, but it's a matter of just toughing it out and, winning each snap as an individual and looking at it that way too. You want to win each play and then reset and then do it again the next one over and over again.
You're averaging 188 yards a game on the ground. Do you feel like that rushing attack is kind of where you want it to be a little bit heading into week number 3?
Obviously, we want more. We want it to be a little more than that, and we'll get there. Our kids, this is still new to them, and watching film and stuff, we're close. We're close, and we're hammering in on the details, and hopefully we see some strides on Friday night, and some better things happen, and that'll get those stats up more where we like to see them. So
yeah. You hear coaches, at all levels, and especially the next level, about challenging guys to get outside of their comfort zone, maybe learning new things, take on new roles. You've done that. You just touched on it, the new offense. Defensively, you've gone from kind of more of a 4-3 look to a 3-4 look at times and moving guys around a little bit here and there. So being able to ask guys to kind of step outside their comfort zone, where do you feel that has gone this year and them kind of stepping up into those roles?
They're buying into it, that's step 1. And then step 2 is applying it. And I think a lot of our kids are in the learning phase of that. And, it's a lot of little things. And I keep saying that, but I'm talking, catching pitches at full speed and then making reads, making correct reads every single time, and just being consistent with all the minor details that we're asking them to do.
Yeah, you mentioned it kind of in the post-game interview last week with Dylan. You just touched on it that, hey, we've had a couple weeks under our belt. It's time to nail down some of those things. It's not about learning it. It's about just executing it. So how was this week of practice in kind of asking that out of your guys?
It's been good. It's been a little choppy, but like in a good way. We've had to slow some things down and really, be detailed with what we're teaching and what we're repping. And, I told the kids after last night's practice, I got a good vibe. I don't know what it is. I hope it sticks. So we'll see.
This week you get back Johan Gomez, of course, out their first couple of weeks. But, offensively last year, didn't get a whole lot of catches on offense. But every time he did, he was a field stretcher. And then, had a couple touchdown receptions. And then on the defensive end, he got after the quarterback, had a fumble recovery, for a touchdown last year. So he's a difference maker. What do you expect out of him coming back here in week 3?
Yeah, you said it. We hope he can make a difference for us. He's a heck of a football player on both sides of the ball, and on the offensive side of the ball, he's going to do an outstanding job of blocking, and like you said, we know what he can do through our passing game, and then we hope he causes havoc on the defensive line as well.
It is week number 3. We'll talk about the opponent tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats. It's the Wildcats of Davenport North. This is the Exterior Plus Home Remodeling pregame chat with head coach Adam Goodvin right here on KFJB-TV.
My name's Lake Schultz. I'm the co-owner of Exterior Plus Home Remodeling.
At Exterior Plus, we truly strive to build relationships one customer at a time. And that's why we're the Midwest's #1 choice in full home remodels. Located in Marshalltown, Iowa, as well as Lincoln, Nebraska, we pride ourselves in providing quality service on time, every time. Give us a call for a free inspection and estimate at 844-261-6111. That's 844-261-6111. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
Back in on the countdown to kickoff right here on KFJB-TV. It's the Wildcats and Bobcats coming up shortly here on your home for the Bobcats. All right, Coach, so week number 3, a team you saw last year in this game, Max Bogan, the running back, went wild. He had 3 rushing touchdowns. They are a little bit of a different style, kind of similar to what you saw last week in Cedar Rapids, Jefferson. They split out 4 wide, and their quarterback has been slinging around to guys and finding open targets. So what kind of challenge does this offense kind of present coming into tonight?
Well, I think the biggest thing that our guys have got to be prepared for is the tempo that they play at. You know, they spread it out. They don't show as many formations and personnel groupings as we saw a week ago, but we got to get lined up quickly and identify, where number 1 is and obviously number 23 out of the backfield. So it's going to be a fun challenge for our kids. We just got to make sure we're locked in throughout the game.
Pretty impressive. Going back to 2008, I couldn't find anything else, and I've heard that it was the first time ever Davenport North beat Davenport Assumption. So they're 2-0 on the season. What do you make of their start as far as getting off on a good foot?
Well, it's a good start, best you can be, right? But it is pretty early. We don't really have any idea how good of a team Assumption is or Davenport West at this point, but we're pretty optimistic. Everything we see on tape that they do, we feel like we can have some answers and go out there and execute. So hopefully we do that.
Tyler England going to be your lead back coming into tonight, and he's done a nice job averaging over 4 yards per carry. Not putting too much pressure on a young guy. What do you kind of expect out of him coming into this game as far as being able to kind of control what you guys do offensively?
We just kind of let him do his thing, run hard. That's what he's always done and what he's shown us. And we've had to clean some things up this week as far as alignment things and steps and all that. But, him and Davis, it's just, we could go one or other. They're both outstanding kids, and they're tough and they're physical. And we just got to continue making sure that those guys get better and provide, great leadership and execution at that B-back position.
They've got a couple of big boys on the defensive line. How do you get after them with your offensive line?
We got to get in their way. We got to know our assignments. That's the first key, and then making sure that little things. If we're backside, we're scooping them. If we're play side and we need to double team the play side guard, we're doing that. So if not, like you said, they're big and they're going to get through and cause some havoc. So it's doing our assignments and executing.
Last week, you guys really controlled the amount of possession time. Is that kind of a key to victory here tonight against a team that's so up-tempo on the other side?
Yeah, it is. And I think, more often than not, high school teams, they get kind of antsy and, if they don't have the ball in their hands a lot. And hopefully that can lead to some mistakes, some turnovers for our defense. And we can, control that football and play our game.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Appreciate it.
All right, that is head coach Adam Goodvin and our Exterior Plus home remodeling pregame interview. Coming up next, we will check out the starters for the Wildcats and the Bobcats. This is the countdown to kickoff right here on KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by the Marshalltown School District. Embrace the lead. Scooters of Marshalltown. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. And State Farm. mtownproud.com.
Beautiful night set up in Davenport tonight. 76, maybe a little muggy out here tonight, but hopefully You are in your friendly confines at home enjoying our broadcast on the road here tonight. Just know Dylan is hotter than he would like to be here tonight.
The word I am using is steamy.
Yeah.
It is steamy here tonight.
All right, time for tonight's starting lineups, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver you the starting lineups. First off, for the Wildcats offense, check that out. Kaz Rabarkak, number 12, the quarterback, has so far this year 30 of 44, 462 passing yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season. Not really a threat to run it, but he does have a rushing touchdown. Jacoby Worrell's Kyle Burridge is one of his big wide receivers. Number 1 has hit the house 3 times this year with 204 reception yards on 6 receptions. Israel Harper, Drew Franklin at wide receiver as well. Mason Bogan is the lead back, as so far here coming into the season, just 78 rushing yards. He had 218 alone last year in this game against the Marshalltown Bobcats. As you look there, Richardson, Elk, Davis, Watson, and Burgess on that offensive line. On the defensive side of things for the Wildcats, who are 2-0 on the season, behind head coach Adam Height, wins over Davenport West and Assumption to begin the year. Defensively, Richardson, Watson, Purnell on the defensive line. Derek Pena, as Dylan alluded to him earlier, a sack and a fumble recovery on the season with 20.5 total tackles to lead that linebacking core coming into this one. Pricer, Patterson, and Vitrabek on the linebacker crew. Parker Taylor and Cunnell Burridge on the corners. And then Bryce Paul, he's a real playmaker. 3 interceptions this season already, 17 total tackles, 1 fumble recovery for a touchdown. That was 38 yards out at safety, and Drew Sheedy will line up by him on the defensive side back there at safety. This is a defense that's only allowed 19.5 points per game, 3 sacks, 3 fumbles, and 3 interceptions coming into this one on the defensive side for the Wildcats. All right, for the Marshalltown Bobcat offense, flipping over to that side of things, Jacob Hayes will be underneath corner. At center, as he'll be at quarterback here tonight. As coming into this one here tonight, 113 yards through the air, touchdown pass, 31 rushes, 67 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. He made his first start at quarterback a year ago in this game. He threw 3 touchdowns and had 3 interceptions in that game, although one of them he got his arm hit, which did not help matters. Tyler Englund will get the start at running back here tonight, his first start at running back, and that'll be a key one to watch for the young sophomore.
Yeah, I think so, very, very much so. I think he's an incredibly talented player that has home run speed. I really think if he can get loose, Bobcats have a good shot.
Zane Moore, Kyle Smith at wide receiver. Kyle Smith, last week, he had 2 receptions for 53 yards and a touchdown. That was a 35-yarder in there. Aiden Smitherman in the slot. Lincoln Barker at tight end, but Johan Gomez will back him up. Verdinez, Hinkle, Eaton, Schaefer, and Hancock along the offensive line for the Marshalltown Bobcats. On the defensive side of things, Johan Gomez is back. A year ago, 29 total tackles, as he picked up 1.5 sacks, a fumble recovery for a touchdown. A very potent player on a 3-4 defensive line. Lincoln Barker, Ignacio Macias out there as well. Jamison Niehaus, Davis Ragland, J.J. Schoenfelder will get the start tonight. Zach Wilder out due to illness here tonight. Aiden Smitherman, Unga Pramada, Kyle Smith, Sam Griesel will be in the secondary as well for the Bobcats. That is our starting lineups tonight, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises. This is the countdown to kickoff. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Jeff Brooks here with a scoreboard update for you. Fort Dodge at home tonight against Dallas Center Grimes. 6:59 left. .6:59 left in the Fort Dodge Dallas Center Grimes game. 7-7 Game's tied up. Waukee versus Sioux City North, and Waukee is leading with 2 minutes left in the first quarter, 14-0. West Marshall will kick off tonight at 7:30. Also looking at East Marshall. They are having a great start to their season, 14-0 against Eddyville-Blakesburg with 32 seconds left in the first quarter. I'll now return you to Brandon Lewis and Dylan Does right here on News Talk 1230 KFJB and KFJB-TV.
National anthem just wrapping up here at Brady Street Stadium. Kickoff between the Wildcats and the Bobcats is next here on KFJB-TV.
Life can take unexpected turns. Maybe you started college, but life got in the way. At Marshalltown Community College, we understand. It's never too late to chase your dreams. Come back to where your journey began. Rediscover your passion for learning and let us help you achieve your goals. Schedule a visit today at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
First down, Bobcats. And this one's going to be blocked back at the 10-yard line. Touchdown, Bobcats. Pass over the middle of the field, and Yohan Gomez catches it. 25. He's loose all the way in for a Bobcat touchdown. One man to beat, and he will. And Ignacio Macias, he comes down to the pile with it.
Bobcat football starts now.
Well, it is already week number 3 as the Bobcats on the road for the first time this season as they face off the Davenport North Wildcats. They are 2-0. The Bobcats looking for their first victory of the season, entering tonight's matchup 0-2 on the season. Marshalltown Bobcats will kick off to begin the night tonight. This is a early season test that the Bobcats know they really have to get right here tonight. There's been some miscues, maybe not completing all 3 aspects, special teams, defense, offense, which have led to some early season losses.
Specifically in this third of the game, the special teams has really been a bit abysmal when it comes to 2 big mistakes last week in the punting game. First week, 2 touchdowns given up off the kickoff return. They have to be tight in this part of the game to get out of Davenport with a win.
Kickoff tonight is all brought to you by the Poly Real Estate Team, Century 21. Let Kristen and Kurt Poly offer you the knowledge and service you deserve. Luis Monge has it teed up at the 40-yard line as he'll kick to the south end zone. Connell Burridge is back to return for the Wildcats. A good, solid kickoff all the way down to the 1-yard line. Burridge on the far side of the field. He'll return. England kind of got blocked out of a tackle opportunity, and Burridge is going to be pushed out of bounds just short of the 40. So special teams, another key right there for the Marshalltown Bobcats, as a big return for a potent offense as Rabarkak will come out here and lead this offense for the Wildcats. And I was impressed with him against Assumption last week. He really just gets it out quickly and lets his guys do the work for him.
He does a nice job decision-making. And then you look at the right side of his line is absolutely ginormous. You're looking at Treteris Watson, 6'3", 295, and then Carver Burgess, 6'7", 320 on that right side. Those are some big men being able to keep people out of the backfield. But, yeah, we're just a first down away here from Davenport already being in plus territory.
At the 40-yard line is where they will begin the game, and they'll hand off to Bogan off of right tackle and around the edge. He has a first down and nearly a 15-yard gain, and that is the pursuit to the edge that the Bobcats will have to keep up with throughout the night to contain and keep Bogan inside.
Yeah, Bogan just had to do a little cutback back to that right side, and it was looking like I-80 when we drove down here. There were 4 lanes wide open.
Gain of 13 yards right there for Bogan off right tackle into Bobcat territory at the 47-yard line. Ball on the far side hash. Rabarkak brings Bogan in motion. It's a sweep to the near side. Bobcats nearly got blocked in the back as Niehaus is there to make a little bit of pressure and force Bogan back inside, but it looked like number 15, Niehaus, almost got blocked in the back, but they let up, and regardless, it's a 3-yard loss there for Bogan now.
Niehaus has made coming in that first week for the injured Xavier Anderson has really done a nice job. Bobcats back a couple years ago were in a 3-4 style defense. They're back into that, utilizing 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers.
Snap comes on second down and 13. A throw out to the near side and pushed out of bounds immediately is on the coverage for the Marshalltown Bobcats. Coming up and pushing him out, Lamar Johnson, as he's getting the start at outside linebacker tonight is Zach Wilder. 8 tackles and a sack on the season. He is out due to illness here tonight. So Bobcat defense have a long third down, 3rd and 7. This is right where they want the Wildcats to be. Near side hash mark in Bobcat territory. Pistol formation. 3 out to the far side for Rabarkak as he will give a hard count. They'll look to the near side as head coach Adam Height will give out those signals.
And Bobcats look to be bringing a blitz topside possibly.
And a swing out to Bogan in the flat on the far side, and he'll be brought down short of the first down at the 40-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4, but it will bring up a 4th down and 3 as quickly, I believe he was hitting Burridge in the out there after I think Burridge was the one trying to make the block for Bogan, but not able to pick up that first down. So anyway, a decent play, but still will set up a fairly long 4th down. 4th and 4. Wildcats will go for it here. 2 to each side. Fake it. Rabarkak keeps it going for the first down, and he will get it just out in time as he beats J.J. Schoenfelder, the sophomore linebacker, to the sticks. And just by the nick of it, he picks up about 5 yards and will move the chains.
Beautiful little RPO, just pulled it back and ran to the corner. We talked about he doesn't run a lot, but he has been effective with that touchdown. There, that first down, a big, big play.
Pistol formation, 4 spread out to the top and bottom side. Barkak moves his wide receiver to the near side even more. Israel Harper. Snaps comes. He fakes like he's going to go for Harper, and underneath at the 30, hits a wide receiver, and it's caught by Worrell, slips a tackle, and is going to be down just inside the 20, as it looks like they're going to mark him down at the 16-yard line is where they finally mark him down. So, yeah, inside the 20 as we are under 10 minutes to go here in this opening quarter of play. So we knew the Wildcats can move the ball, and that's exactly what they're doing on this first drive.
Great job of getting Worrells from the slot and then putting him based on Davis Ragland. Ragland cannot stay up with him. That's a great play call.
Pena, the lead back, he'll block for Bogan, who's dancing around, and he'll pick up about 2 yards as he moves it over the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 2nd down and 8. As the Wildcats in the Bobcat red zone here. We'll see if it's a bend but don't break situation. We've seen Johan Gomez, Ignacio Macias, Lincoln Barker on the defensive line so far. Haven't really been able to generate a whole lot of pressure on Rabarkak.
It looks like Furch has played around with a couple blitzes as well, but here they stretch it to the outside.
Option to Bogan, and Bogan's going to be swarmed by the Bobcats on the edge, and it looks like Gorsuch is one of the first to come up and make the tackle. So good pursuit to the edge. It'll force a long 3rd down and 7. So not a big gain on the option play right there for Rabarkak hitting Bogan.
Yeah, also Davis Ragland did a nice job of sticking his nose in there as well. Bobcats have done much better on the run play since that opening handoff to Bogan.
Man comes in motion, and Harper, they'll swing it out to Bogan in the backfield. And nice job by Ragland, kind of pushing him back inside. Niehaus is there to help make the tackle. As also coming up and making the stop, Aiden Smitherman. So a good job by the defense. Actually, I think they're going to lose about a half yard. It's going to be 4th down and 8. And it seems like early on they got to the edges, but the Bobcats now pursuing very well, getting kind of locked in this game.
Yeah, Niehaus there with his 3rd tackle on this drive, doing a really good job of staying home on that, not over pursuing.
Wildcats are moving well inside in between the 20s, but now they've gotten into the red zone. Bobcats have done a nice job. 4th down and 8. They'll go to the air, and that one's off the fingertips, incomplete. As it looks like Donovan Holloway was the intended target right there for the Wildcats. It is incomplete. 4th and 8 and a turnover on downs, and that's the bend but don't break for the Bobcat defense they needed right there on that opening drive by the Wildcats.
Really nice job. They covered it. Aiden Smitherman had him underneath, so it had to be a perfect pass to the back pylon, and there was a shot. I will say Smitherman kind of undercut it, missed it. There was a shot, but it would have taken a spectacular one-handed grab to get there. Nice shot by Keith out there.
Let's look at our keys to the game here tonight, which are all brought to you by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com.
Marshalltown, 4 quarters is better than 1 half. They shut out Mason City in the second half, game 1. 7-6 in first half, game 2. Didn't hold it out.
Handoff on first down for the Bobcats, and they'll gain a little bit going up the middle right there.
And then the Bogan breakout. I think North is going to have to effectively run the football here tonight to mix in with the pass to beat the Bobcats.
Well, a first down run by actually, that was Ragland who got the carry on first down. We were told England was going to get the start tonight, but Ragland actually gets the first carry of the night. So 2nd down and 8, a 2-yard gain for the Marshalltown Bobcats as they go right up the middle as Hayes will be underneath center. Ragland the back, and Pramada comes in motion, handoff right up the gut again. And Ragland will try to push up to the 20, and it looks like he will get to the 21-yard line. So another about 3 yards for the Bobcats, and 3rd down and medium range. And for the Wildcats, it's going to be a little bit of a test for them early on here. Can they match the physicality of some of those big boys on that offensive line?
And you look over across with the Wildcats, they are big up front. They're in a 3-4 defense as well. It really is going to come down to, do they stay gap sound, be able to read that, and be able to hit Davis and not allow Jacob Hayes to run wild.
Hayes with Ragland in the back. Pramada comes around the edge. It's a reverse to Smitherman, and he's going to be tackled at the line of scrimmage. Maybe even a loss of about a half yard. That'll bring up 4th down for the Bobcats. And here comes the special teams unit. Smitherman's really struggled this season.
Yeah, he's just not been able to elude tackles, break anything there. Wildcats did a great job. They just stayed there. They were waiting for that play to come back to them, doing exactly what you're taught. And Smitherman came right back, and they were able to wipe it out.
Yohan Gomez is out to punt for the first time this season, as he stands at about the 5-yard line, and the punt is away. And high spiral into the night sky over midfield, and it's going to be returned by Burridge. He's up towards the 40. Ball comes out late. Bobcats cover it up, and they will have it. It is a turnover and recovered by Zane Moore at the 40-yard line. And the Bobcats, with 5:55 to go in the opening quarter, get a much-needed turnover, and that will help them with starting position near midfield. But Burridge on the return right there, and the Bobcats just coming up with the turnover.
And the Bobcats, one of the Bobcats on the far side was being blocked and just reached out with one arm and was able to poke it away. I don't know if we have a replay on that or not, but it was a great play. He was a little bit loose with the loaf of bread, as they say, and Bobcats pounce on it. Big, big momentum.
Yeah, big swing of momentum, and England has checked in at running back. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 40-yard line. Hayes will pass for the first time tonight out of the backfield. He's going to try to hit Smitherman, and that one had Smitherman looking all around as it was kind of the outside of him. Incomplete. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that's a really difficult one for Smitherman to catch when you're kind of looping out of the backfield in a little bit of a wheel route. Jacob's got to be able to throw that ahead of him. Instead, he forced him to try to Willie Mays back over his right shoulder, and he wasn't able to find the ball in the air.
Under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Ball at the 40-yard line on their own side of the field as we look at the last pass attempt, as that one intended for Smitherman. Bobcats come to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like there is a little bit of confusion as Smitherman was checking out. Gorsuch was coming in. And with that said, we'll take a timeout here tonight as we are at Brady Street Stadium as the Bobcats and the Wildcats tied up at 0 right here on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you want to kick off football season in a new recliner, pass the bread at a beautiful new dining set, or lay up on a luxurious sectional sofa, McGregor's is the right play. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from their friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selections at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
What's your best round here?
68.
68. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Bobcats out of the timeout, have a second down and 10. As Sam Griesel comes in motion, handoff to England off left tackle. He'll go spinning off of a couple of Wildcats. Finally, the whistle will come. It'll set up a long third down out of the timeout. Looked like some confusion in that timeout. Smitherman was coming out of the game. Gorsuch was coming in, and both guys were trying to figure out. Meanwhile, they were still standing on the football field while doing so. So Adam Goodvin had to take that timeout. Out of it, not a whole lot there on second down.
No, England was able to get a few yards, so right now you're in that 3rd and 6. One thing that I do like is the Bobcats have already mixed a pass in. You can kind of see they're trying to see where they can sprinkle that passing game in a predominant run offense.
Looks like Johan Gomez is out there at tight end as he'll hand off to England, and he'll go off right tackle, and he finds a seam. He's going to be about a yard short of the first down. It's a 5-yard pickup, but it will be 4th and 1 at the 49-yard line on their own side of the field. So need to get to the 50 for a first down as we're under 5 minutes to go this opening quarter. A lot of time has come off, but not anybody really doing a whole lot. We'll see the Bobcats go for it here on 4th and 1 at midfield as Hayes underneath center. England is the back. Pramana comes in motion, and they try to see if they could draw the Wildcats offside. Nothing doing. Everyone will check out their wristband now, as it looks like the Bobcats were just trying to draw him offside. Hayes underneath center. He'll scramble ahead, trying to get the QB sneak for the first down. It looks like he's going to fall onto the 50, and that will be a first down as the officials will indicate to move the chains. So 4:19 stopped on the clock, and the Bobcats will pick up their first down of the night.
That's a big, big run because you give it right back to him at midfield. Jacob Hayes was able to get just enough in front of the behemoth front line of the Wildcats of Davenport North.
We do see Max Reed in there as center. He's back this week as well. I think they moved Owen Eaton possibly to... He might not be in there right now. We'll check out a few changes on that offensive line. England gets the handoff. He's undercut after a 1-yard gain. It will bring up 2nd and 9 with the ball on the far side of hash. It looks like Hinkle's at left tackle as Reed is at center. And looks like Arian Hancock is at right tackle. John Schaefer is at right guard. And Xavier Verdinez is...
He's at the left tackle. Hinkle's at left guard.
Okay, yep. So that's the only change just at center there is Max Reed for the Bobcats. Starting there is Jacob Hayes underneath center. Next snap coming near 3:15 to go in this opening quarter. Handoff up the gut again, and just a few yards for England. And it's going to bring up a long third down and about 6 yards to go for the Cats. So, again, these long-distance situations, not something you definitely want to be in as the Bobcats try to test out that defensive line. There's a few guys down there, Kenyon Purnell as well as Tertarius Watson, both two big guys who can try to stuff that run against the Bobcats.
And it seems because of the size and strength up front, they're not having to crash and end, so the read is always to hand it off right up the gut, but it's not doing a whole lot.
Bobcats hand off again to England, and the ball comes out, and it's a turnover at the 45-yard line. And it looked like a fumble initially as Bryce Pauly covered something up, but I think it must have come out. maybe a little bit late after the whistle had blown. So no fumble, and here comes the special teams unit.
And when you look at it, that play, just the timing looks off. When you're watching the Bobcats snap, It does not feel like one movement. Here you see everybody just kind of moving all off. It looks like he just got stood up there.
Johan Gomez out to punt away on 4th down and 6, as this will hit at the 15. Burge will pick it up, and he's going to shoot between a couple of Bobcats, including England and Pramana, as he's up over the 25-yard line, and that will be good starting field position. So Bobcats punt on their first 2 drives of the night, despite getting an early turnover from the Wildcats.
Yeah, they were able to get a turnover midfield. Bobcats have really struggled to run and get any yardage on that first down. It'd be interesting to see, do they sprinkle in a bit of a pass on first down, something a little bit to the outside to spring maybe a 5 or 6 yard play.
Rabarkak will scramble out to the near side on the first down play at the 28-yard line. He'll get over the 30 to the 32 and a half yard line, so nearly a 4-yard gain for the quarterback in Rabarkak. And coming out to the near side, coming into this one, really -7 rushing yards and 1 touchdown. It hasn't been a big theme for them, but so far tonight he's been moving. He'll hand off to Bogan on 2nd down. Bogan's going to shoot ahead for a first down run up to the 40-yard line. That'll be an 8-yard gain. It'll move the chains. And again, here tonight we saw the Wildcats move between the 20s on their opening drive, but got stalled out on a 4th down and a turnover on downs. We are just over a minute and a half to go in a fast-moving first quarter between the Wildcats and the Bobcats.
And all those big yards are coming on that right side.
Rabarkak pitches out to Bogan on the far side of the field, as Bogan will get over the 45 up to the 46-yard line before he is tackled. Gorsuch on the tackle, as well as Ragland for the Bobcats. Just a minute to go now in this opening quarter of play. It'll bring up 2nd down and 3, ball on the far side hash.
Davenport North doing a nice job of spreading the Bobcats out sideline to sideline, using a lot of speed and movement to get those open holes.
Low snap, picks it up. Rabarkak hands off to Bogan. Bounces outside of the 50, outside the numbers, brought down at the 40. Lamar Johnson on the tackle, but his helmet pops up off. He'll have to come out for a play, as that'll be another first down for the Wildcats, as Bogan to the 41-yard line, and just 36 seconds to go in the opening quarter.
Right now, Bobcats only have 10 players on the field. There's a late one coming out.
England will scramble in for Johnson, who lost his helmet there. Wildcats scrambling to the line. 4 wide receivers set out of the pistol. Pena has checked in at running back after a couple of big carries for Bogan, and the running back, Pena, got almost moving a little bit quickly. Rabarkak pulls it out. He'll scramble himself up to the 35-yard line. So Rabarkak, not a huge running threat, but on first down and 10 at the 41-yard line, he's going to scramble down to the 35 and make it a 2nd down and 4.
One thing Bobcats aren't doing well, everyone is flowing off of that fake. Nobody's home on all 3 of Rabarkak's run. He just does that fake, and that end just flows with it, and nobody's there.
Rabarkak with the single back in Pena. Drops back to pass. Looks out to the near side. Gorsuch is going to make the tackle, but it's not in time. It is caught, and that will move the chains as Drew Franklin hauls in his 4th ball of the season. Coming in, 3 receptions, 30 yards, and a touchdown on the season for the Wildcats as we tick inside 30 seconds in the first quarter.
There you see a late blitz by Lamar Johnson, but Rabarkak gets it way in front of that blitz.
No pressure so far on Rabarkak to really speak of here tonight. He's been just able to drop back and really just go through his progression.
With that 3-4 defense, you usually bring in 1 backer. Bobcats have brought 2 at points, but none of them are getting home on it.
And that'll do it for the opening quarter of play. We're scoreless. The Wildcats have already turned it over, but they're driving in Bobcat territory when we start the second quarter. It's 0-0 Wildcats. Bobcats on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Welcome back to Brady Street Stadium. Sorry for a technical difficulty with our producer back in the radio studios, Jeff Brooks. We'll try to get a scoreboard update with him coming up in just a little bit. 12 minutes on the clock as we get set to start the second quarter here tonight. As Bobcats so far tonight not really moving the ball a whole lot. Wildcats have been. Now they're deep into Bobcat territory here as they'll bring the snap. 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line in Bobcat territory. Rebarkak with 4 wide receivers set. He'll drop back, look to pass as Pena is blocking for him. A rollout near side. Tip ball. It's going to fall incomplete, but a great job on coverage downfield as Aiden Smitherman on the coverage. His ball was tipped up. It looked like Niehaus also back there to try to get that tip ball, but good coverage downfield. Also a little bit of pressure. Lincoln Barker from the backside got Rebarkak to roll out, and it will set up a 2nd down and 10 on the incompletion, Dylan.
Yeah, he had to get out. Bobcats sat back in a good zone defense with Juan Pablo Perez knocking it away, but that's really the first time he made a bad decision with the ball.
Handoff Pena. He's got a big seam, and he runs over a Bobcat down inside the 15-yard line as Juan Pablo coming up with the tackle, but here's the play before, but Pena just with a big run as that was the incompletion, and it will bring up 1st and goal from the 8-yard line on the far side hash mark. Rebarkak out of the pistol formation. Pena is the deep back, 2 wide receivers to each side of the formation. Bobcats playing with more 4-down linemen. Rebarkak pulls it out to the edge. Nobody home defensively. It's an 8-yard touchdown rush for Rebarkak, and the Bobcats not pursuing well to the edges, and Rebarkak not a runner. The Bobcats making him one here tonight, as that will be the 2nd drive and going down the field as they score on a 62-yard drive for the touchdown.
Yeah, they're just driving it down our throats. But you see here, holding it down, Lincoln Barker just gets swallowed up. He allowed number 64, Ethan Davis, to block 2 Bobcats. He just rolled into the middle and left it wide open. Lincoln's got to be a lot better than that.
PAT to come, and it is up, and it is good for Joseph Lai as he makes the PAT. It's 7-0 Wildcats with the lead. 11:28 second quarter on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Back at Brady Street Stadium here as the Wildcats, a shared Davenport Community School District, Davenport Central, Davenport West play their home games here at Brady Street Stadium. Underwent a renovation back in 2018. They widened out the track, made some other improvements as a nice complex here on the western side of Davenport. Davenport North strikes for an 8-yard touchdown run by Rebarkak as it is 7-0 Wildcats on top. Kickoff is all brought to you by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate team. Back to return for the Bobcats and caught up at the 20-yard line. And spinning out of a tackle on the far side at the 30-yard line. And did you get a number?
Griesel.
Was it Sam Griesel? I couldn't tell if it was 12 or 7. Okay, now I see him turn around 17. So Sam Griesel on the return right there as that'll set up the Bobcats with decent field position. 2 possessions here tonight really haven't done a whole lot, a punt and a punt.
They haven't really been able to get anything going. It's a lot of that initial 2-yard run on 1st down, 1-yard run, 3-yard run. see if the Bobcats look to go to the air or something to the edge early on in this drive.
England is the back behind Jacob Hayes underneath center. Kyle Smith, wide receiver, split out to the near side. England trying to go somewhere, but he is going nowhere. And coming up and making the tackle, a playmaker in Drew Sheedy, the safety, 17 total tackles and a sack on the season coming into tonight's contest. And we have a lineman down for the Marshalltown Bobcats.
It's Tyler England. He got tackled right above the knee, and he was hobbling pretty good. And we'll see the trainer from Davenport North running out there. He tried to put some weight on it and didn't have a whole lot of go on it.
Not a great situation here for the Bobcats as we're just not even 60 seconds into the second quarter. And there you see the tackle by Sheedy coming up and making the play, and England was down. So not a great moment for the Bobcats. We'll take a quick timeout as you are watching Bobcat football right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
Coming up at the half, our Scouting America show, stats, highlights, and adjustments for the second half. Tyler England helped off the field right now as the Bobcats watch him. An unfortunate situation. He was not able to put a lot of weight on it. Hopefully he is all right going forward, but not looking great for his return here in this one. So we'll see a little bit more of Davis Ragland here tonight, most likely.
Yeah, you're looking at that B-back position. It's been Xavier Anderson, England, and Ragland. Right now, Xavier Anderson and England not available. A lot of Davis Ragland, and we may see somebody that we didn't think we'd see here tonight.
Yeah, that is for sure, as they will wind the clock. 11 minutes to go second quarter. Ragland with a big seam up to the 40. Breaks through a tackle and a nice play being pushed out at the 45-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Marshalltown Bobcats as Drew Sheedy is the one who was trying to hang on for the ride, but Ragland took him for the first down.
Yeah, doing a little bit of a veer left, getting it out from just in that A gap, swinging a little bit out off guard in between guard and tackle, stretching the defense a little bit, and the Bobcats are seeing more green churned out underneath their feet.
Bobcats down 7-0 after Rabarkak with an 8-yard touchdown run. Vermont comes around the edge, handoff to Ragland up the gut. No, they will keep it with Hayes, the quarterback, and he'll lose 2 yards. He was looking to pitch it late, and sometimes with Hayes, I know he's trying to make a play, but right there you just need to tuck that thing and know only a 2-yard loss, nothing bigger than that.
I'm thinking that might have been on Permana, because if you look when he went to pitch, Permana was a yard ahead of him.
Yeah.
Permana, if you see out here, it looks like Permana should have been more in that pitch position. Instead, he was in front. And Coach had talked a lot about they're not getting their steps right now. I know in his conversation with you, we saw some spacing issues on that pitch play last week. This was Enga just wasn't where he needed to be.
Ragland is the back as Permana comes around the edge. Ragland will block as he'll go to the air and trying to hit Sam Griesel in first down territory. It is incomplete, out of bounds for Sam Griesel, so that will bring up 3rd down and 12 for the Bobcats here. You know, you're right. We've seen that the first 2 weeks in implementation of a new offense. I mean, a lot of these guys are running this new flexbone offense for the first time ever in their career, so it's still a learning curve, but it is week number 3 after all.
Yeah, and that's where Enga hasn't been in that slot role as much.
Yep.
But right there, Jacob was pretty much on point all week last week. So far tonight, he has been off. That should have been 6 if he would have been able to hit Sam in stride.
Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button here today and turn on those upcoming game notifications. 9:42, Bobcats take a timeout, trailing 7-0, 3rd and 12 when we come back. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects. From learning how to build relationships and healthy lifestyles,
And gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
From the KFJB studios, I'm Jeff Brooks with the Central State Bank scoreboard update. Looking at Colonesco tonight against Glidden Ralston. Colonesco at halftime leads 20-14. South Hamilton struggling against Roland Story tonight at halftime. Roland Story leads 35-0. And Johnston against Valley. Halftime, Johnston leads 14-12. Also have Pella and Indianola at halftime. Pella leads 12-0 against Indianola tonight. That's your Central State Bank scoreboard update. Now back to Brandon Lewis and Dylan.
Thanks, Jeff, for that scoreboard update as we come back here to Davenport. It is a loss as the Bobcats go to the air, and sacked is Jacob Hayes. And the Wildcats coming up with a big play there on 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, you just see Niall Verterbeck just out there, owned him. There was a little play action play. He did not bite on it and swallowed Jacob up. Bobcats forced to punt one more time. Nice to see Tyler England just running on in punt protection there. So that's a good news for the Bobcats.
Trumbick coming into this one, 7 total tackles, and he plays off that edge. Slow developing punt, almost blocked. Johan Gomez with the angle, though. It goes out right around the 25-yard line. That's a good field flipper right there by Gomez. Nearly had it blocked. You heard the big ooh in the crowd right there. So no opportunity for a guy who's made a lot of plays here tonight already, Cunnell Burridge, as you look at him coming to the near side here as the Wildcats get set and ready to go back on offense. But pursuing to the edges here tonight. Seems like coverage has been pretty good, but the linebackers and the edges making sure that they are containing has been a little bit of struggle for this defense.
Yeah, they have not done a good job of containing on the backside of plays, and that's where Rybarczyk has been able just to leak out the backside, scoring that touchdown, but also picking up a couple really important first downs.
So the Bobcats with 3 drives in this first half and all ending in punts. Bogan will get the handoff off of right guard, and he'll get over the 30-yard line up to the 32. And that will be a 7-yard gain on first down. That's the thing about this offense is 4 wide receivers split out. And if they can get those passes, then that opens up huge seams for Bogan, the running back, who stands in the pistol behind Rybarczyk. He fumbles the handoff, but he does get back on top of it just as he's brought down by the Bobcats. Lincoln Barker on the tackle, and that will back him up 1 yard to the 31, and it will set up 3rd down and 4 as we look at the replay here on KFJB-TV.
Yeah, it looks like right there he just never had it. He just, when he put it in his chest, he never had it. Wildcats lucky not to have their second turnover of the game.
Trips to the near side, one to the far side of the field in Israel Harper. Rybarczyk surveys. Bogan is the running back. He'll stay in to block, and just a turnaround, but not quickly in time. Jacoby Worrells didn't have his head around, as that was a little hitch route right there, right to the first down marker. They did not team up on that one, so incomplete. Here comes this punt team for the first time tonight for the Wildcats.
Great job by the Bobcat defense, again aided by that fumble. But Jamison Niehaus is playing a really good football game right now. He was in coverage on that in the flat. I thought he has played incredibly well. Each week he gets better and better. It makes sense why the coaches are talking him up.
Bogan is on to punt for the Wildcats on 4th down and 4 at the 31-yard line. Kyle Smith is back to return. Bobcats get some pressure. Bogan gets the punt away. A sidewinder back to the 35. Kyle Smith breaks one tackle. Can he break another? No, he cannot. And he'll be brought down at about the 34-yard line. So that's where the Bobcats will set up on their 4th drive of the night. We'll see if they can finally get something going. As Dylan alluded to, Tyler England was back on that special teams play on the last drive as the punt was got away. So 7:45 to go before halftime. And the Bobcats with not a very good first half here offensively. We've seen this team over the first couple of weeks be a team of tale of two halves. So you kind of feel like if you could hold the Wildcats for 7 in the first half, you come out, maybe you play that totally different second half here tonight.
Yeah, right now Bobcats just have 22 yards of offense all on the ground. You see now that you see Johan Gomez out there. You see behind there's still Davis Ragland. Davis had a nice run in that last drive, but it was all for naught.
So Ragland stands behind Jacob Hayes. And hand off to Ragland right up the gut. He runs over a Wildcat on his way to nearly first down yardage. It'll be 2nd down and 1 as Drew Sheedy came up to make the tackle, and Ragland just came right on top of him. So a nice 9-yard pickup right there, and finally a few seams open it up for that inside running game.
It's the interior of the line has done a much better job. That's Max Reed, that's Hinkle, along with Hancock there. They're just kind of opening up some stuff, and Davis Ragland is he's a fullback body.
Gorsuch comes around the edge, but they will hand it off to Ragland, who picks up the first down to the 45-yard line. A 3-yard pickup as we have 7 minutes to go before halftime here at Brady Street Stadium in Davenport. I'm Brandon Lewis. Dylan Doe's alongside me as we look at the replay.
And he just put his shoulder down. Nice job running over Treteris Watson.
Not an easy guy to run over either.
No, 6'3", 290 is not easy to displace.
Wow. I'd like to see you try to run him over, Dylan.
I could not. I'd shake his hand and say, do you want to go get a coffee?
Doesn't look like a coffee kind of guy. You know what I mean? He's a bring your lunch pail to work kind of guy. Tough guy. As we see a run by Jacob Hayes, and he's going to be swarmed right at the line of scrimmage, and it will bring up 2nd down and 10 as Jacob tried to get low right there, but just a good tackle on the edge is pursued pretty well. Looked like coming in and making the stop, Braden Richardson possibly?
I think it was Relly Elk, actually, number 52.
Okay, not 55, 52 right there on the tackle. So Ragland at running back on 2nd down and 10 at the 45-yard line on their own side of the field. Hand off to Ragland. He's up at midfield now. A good 5-yard run. And it will bring up a manageable 3rd and 5. So Ragland has been ripping off some really nice runs on this drive. But a tough situation here for 3rd and 5. We'll see. The Bobcats have not really gone to the air a whole lot here tonight early on, but maybe this is one of those opportunities.
And this is interesting. You're seeing a lot. Angus playing offensively. Declan Green was just on the field. We're not seeing a lot of Aiden Smitherman. They seem to be going deeper into that slot, to the slot roster.
Sam Griesel comes around the edge, fakes the pitch, and the Bobcats go to the air as the arm is hit of Jacob Hayes as he was trying to deliver one down the field to, I believe, is that Aiden Smitherman? Is that Gorsuch? I can't throw it.
It's Gorsuch.
Okay. So it was Gorsuch, number 3, the intended target. Ball at the 50. Bobcats went for it when they had it at the 49, but it was a 4th and 1. This time it's much longer, 4th and 5, and head coach Adam Goodvin does decide to bring out this special teams unit.
And I think this is the right call. You're down 7-0, 5:15 left to go. Yeah, Bobcats have to do a better job. I don't know if that's a completion or not, but I like this. See if you can pin the Wildcats only down a touchdown.
High snap. Gomez gets it away. They run into the punter. They say they got a piece of it. Burridge back at the 15. He has it. Slips by Lamar Johnson. Bobcats not taking good angles. Burridge pulls away as flags fly back at the 45-yard line, and that's right around the area where Burridge was pushed out of bounds. So a flag back at the 45 where he was pushed out of bounds. So we'll see if the ball will be put back here around the 30 or so after this one marked off here. We do have a player down on the far side of the field for the Wildcats, as it looks like Drew Sheedy, the safety, is down on the play. But here's the replay of that return.
Davis Ragland is going to be held right there. You can see it clearly. He is held in the back of the jersey.
So a player down on the far side of the field right now, and he's being checked out by the trainers. Officials are marking off the flag. I did not see the actual indication from the officials on the penalty, but Looks like about 10-yard mark off here, so probably just that holding call.
Yeah. That's what we'll. Yeah, I think that's what
right
where they
yep.
threw it.
Yep.
But real quick, if you're just running through some of the stats, as we talked about, a Bogan breakout really to balance that. Right now, they have 84 yards on the ground, with Bogan having 44 of those. They have 39 in the air, but probably the most effective runner is Rybarczyk. He's had those big runs, including that touchdown run. Bobcats have been one-dimensional. They've started to run the ball a little bit more effectively, have not been able to connect anything in the pass game.
So it's only a 7-0 game. The Wildcats leading right now with 5:03 to go before halftime. Bobcats have 4 drives, all resulting in punts. I feel like you almost have to think, man, we're lucky this isn't more than just 7-0 right now.
I would agree wholeheartedly, and it looks like Sheedy's walking off on his own. Not at a quick pace, but seems like he is able to walk out on his own. You feel that way, but you also feel like they popped a couple big runs early. It felt like once they settled down, unless it's Rybarczyk just filtering out the backside of plays, Bobcat defense has been really stout. So they clean up some of those just disciplined things. I think the Bobcats have done a nice job matching up against the Wildcat offense.
Juan Perez has been in at safety quite a bit here tonight for Kyle Smith, as Kyle Smith has been more at corner here tonight, as Aiden Smitherman hasn't been out there in that corner spot.
And he's still on the sideline and stuff. Something must just not be right with him.
Fake the handoff to Bogan. Rybarczyk keeps it. He's going to be brought down back at the 30-yard line. So a 4-yard loss right there is good pursuit by Ignacio Macias and crew for a big loss for the Bobcats. And we talked about early on here, not a whole lot of pressure, but the last couple of drives have seen more pressure by that defensive line.
Yeah, you see Nacho there, but it's Hinkle that ends up getting him in a suplex and taking him down for the loss. Great job.
2nd and 14 at the 30 on the far side hash. Rybarczyk dropping back, looking to pass, pressure in his face. He's going to scramble out. Johnson gets to the corner, pushes him out at the 36-yard line is where, so that's going to be a 6-yard pickup. It'll be 3rd down and 8 with 4:23 to go before halftime.
We talked about Lamar Johnson. We've seen him in basketball specifically. We know he's a tough kid, an athletic kid. I've been happy seeing how disciplined he's been. We talked about on the drive over, because he didn't play last year, how disciplined would he be getting his first major playing time?
Nathan Sinclair was the man who pushed him out of the pocket on that last play. Rybarczyk, nobody downfield open. He's going to have to scramble out. Ragland is pursuing him, as well as Johan Gomez gets to the corner and out at the 42-yard line. He's going to come up a couple yards short of the first down, but a scramble of nearly 6 yards. Make it about 5. So it's 4th and 3. So a little bit further than what we thought. It looks like special teams is going to come out here as Bogan will go back to punt. Kyle Smith back to return. But here's Rybarczyk, just nobody downfield, and Johan Gomez just not able to quite get to him in time.
I don't know if you saw what he did to that tackle. He displaced him. He threw him to the side and got a rush. I was like, Johan was almost there, but he assaulted the left tackle on that play.
Punt is away by Bogan. It's a short one, as this one is going to hit at the 30, roll down to near the 20-yard line, and inside the 20. So a long field for the Bobcats, as we are just under 4 minutes to go before halftime, as the last couple of drives for Davenport have now ended in punts after that Rybarczyk 8-yard touchdown run. So it looks like Duncan Furchin kind of working with that defense. They're figuring things out. Now it's up to the offense to figure out how to get some points on the board.
Defenses always look better, and coordinators always look smarter when your line can get pressure.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
That in this last drive, it was Nacho, it was Hinkle, Sinclair messed some stuff up in the middle of the line, and then Gomez flushes Rybarczyk out. So that was a really good job by those 3 down linemen in rotation for the Bobcats.
So 3:55 to go before halftime. It's 7-0 Wildcats on top of the Bobcats, as the Bobcat offense will start at the 18 in the middle of the field. Jacob Hayes underneath center, and England is back in at running back, Dylan.
And Eaton is at center.
So Owen Eaton, who started the first 2 weeks, back in at center. I think he might have been on the last drive. England breaks a tackle. He'll pick up a first down as he's at the 31-yard line. And what knee injury?
I know.
I mean, what a run right there. There was a little burst as he found his seam.
If I walked off the field like that, I would walk off the field like that for the next 4 decades of my life.
You'd be sitting in the truck already. You would have packed it in for the night.
Braga, I would tag in David Braga here doing our stats for us right to our right.
So first down run for Tyler England, getting his, he was slated to get his first start of the season here tonight, but he's definitely getting a good amount of playing time as a young sophomore due to the Xavier Anderson injury. We're under 3.5 minutes to go. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats. Right up the gut again with England. Trying to spin off some tackles, and he'll finally be driven back, but he does pick up nearly 3 yards up to the 34-yard line. 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, he's got 30 yards here on 8 carries with Davis Ragland leading the way on 6 carries. He's got 34 yards. So they're starting to get some movement of the line. They're starting to get some push there. It's just when they've had the opportunity to go into the air, specifically the Griesel throw, we just have not been able to either hold up our protection well enough or drop a dime where it needs to be put.
Not often you see 2 split out, but the Bobcats do, and Hayes is going to go to the air, but he is dropped before he can do anything with it, and disrupting things in the backfield, coming up with the tackle number 8. That'd be DeAndre Smith. He gets in the backfield and helps make that sack right there, so it's a loss of about 4 yards. It'll bring up 3rd and 11 for the Bobcats. Just no time for Hayes.
And it looked like he wanted to swing that out to Gorsuch, but those plays can, especially in that flex bone, because you're reading through, Are you handing off, are you taking it, are you doing this? And with the Wildcats not biting on anything, they're just waiting for it. So everything's taken way too long to develop, and nothing's there.
Hand off to England on 3rd and 11, and the Bobcats just trying to get that field position back and maybe take the opening kickoff in the second half and just have a 7-0 game at the break. 1:49 in the first half. A timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout with them. You're watching Bobcat football on KFJB-TV. Well, timeout on the football field. It was taken by the Wildcats as they still have 2 remaining. Bobcats down with just 1 timeout. With 1:49 before halftime, 7-0. Wildcats leading it here. Bobcats with a 4th down and 7 at the 34-yard line on their own side of the field as Johan Gomez will be out to punt here tonight. If you've wondered if you've missed anything on offense for the Bobcats, no. Johan Gomez, though, has been doing a nice job punting, Dylan.
He has. They've gotten close to blocking a couple of Johan's punts, so make sure he can get that off clean.
This one is away, and he booms it down to the 30-yard line. Burridge dancing around. He does find the edge. Looks like Lincoln Barker was the man to push him out of bounds. No, that was Sam Griesel, the man to push him out of bounds. And it is just shy of midfield where the Wildcats will start this drive at the 47-yard line. With 1:39 to go before halftime, I would imagine the Wildcats going to be aggressive, knowing the Bobcats do begin the second half with the football.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. They've stayed pretty much right on the line. I wonder if they're looking at a potential double move or something, see if you can get a safety or a corner biting.
Rabarkak out of the pistol. He'll fire quickly out to the near side as he hits his wide receiver in Israel Harper. He's out at the 45-yard line in Bobcat territory, so that's going to be about 2 yards short of a first down. 2nd and 2. Only takes a few seconds off the clock here as, again, 4 wide receivers are split out for Rabarkak. Out of the pistol, Bogan is the running back. He'll survey the Bobcat defense. Snap comes here with 1:33 and counting. Little 5-yard out route. Tackle is missed. Another tackle is missed, but Davis Ragland finally drives the wide receiver out of bounds as Gorsuch missed the tackle on the opportunity on the far side. It was caught by Jacoby Worrells, breaking 2 tackles and a big first down. That will move it deeper into Bobcat territory at the 31.
And one thing is we are struggling to tackle. It's Kyle Smith has struggled to tackle in space all night long, and he misses another one there.
1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Minute 24 to go before halftime. Rabarkak drops back, looks to pass deep to the near side. He has a wide receiver, but that one will sail out of bounds. It is incomplete as he was looking to target DeAndre Smith, his senior wide receiver. And that one, the second time, I think he tried for him on the touchdown earlier, but that was a 4th and 9, and that was out of play as well, a turnover on downs. This one bring up 2nd and 10.
And that was the big play that we thought maybe they'd go for, because Anga had his eyes locked in the backfield. He had beaten him. Smith had beaten him, but Rabarka could not make the accurate pass down the sideline.
2nd down and 10 at the 31-yard line. 1:17 to go before halftime. Bogan gets the handoff. Big seam off of right guard. Finally, he is brought down as J.J. Schoenfelder comes up and makes the tackle just shy of the 25-yard line. It'll be at the 26, and it's now 3rd down and 5 for Rabarkak as the offense looks to the near side as they check out the play call from head coach Adam Height.
Yeah, I think Schoenfelder also getting the tackle there. I think he's had a pretty good year. His first year really seeing action.
Rabarkak pitches to Bogan. Bogan driven out of bounds by Gorsuch, 2 yards short of the first down. So 4th down and 2 to come here with 45 seconds to go before halftime. Rabarkak with just a quick pitch, and then he was scrambling out in front of Bogan to try to block for his running back.
You talked about Roger Craig earlier. I think Rabarkak was trying to be Tom Rathman. He went from Steve Young to Tom Rathman, trying to knocking him down.
So 4th down and along to about 4th and 3 for the Wildcats. So they'll keep the offense out on the field while the far side hash for the blue and gold of the Wildcats. Snap comes Rabarkak. Pitch out to Bogan, trying to get the edge on the near side. Pramana is late to get there, and it will be a 1st down for Bogan as he's pushed out of bounds with 39 seconds before halftime. So 1st down, and they are now right at the edge of the red zone, and they will spot it at the 19. So they are in Bobcat red zone right here on this next snap.
Yeah, Bobcats just could not get to the edge fast enough. Looks like out there.
Pena with a nice block, yeah.
Great block by Pena. That kid's put together. He's 6 foot, 220. Looks at every single pound of it.
Pena is in there. He'll stand to the right of Rabarkak. Handoff Bogan off of right tackle. Gets a really good block. Breaks one tackle and finally driven down at the 5-yard line. J.J. Schoenfelder in there to make the tackle as well as Henkel. But that is going to move it to a 1st and goal from the 5. 28 seconds to go and a timeout's going to come for the Wildcats. And just 27 seconds to go. Timeout, and actually the Bobcats take the timeout right there. They know they wanted to set up and make sure that defense was set up well on this now 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Wildcats hadn't done anything the last couple of drives. They had punted, but now moving it again as a little bit of urgency on that offensive side.
You see Bogan does a great job of just settling down, waiting for that block, and Lamar got put on his backside, and then just terrible tackling. It's just been really poor tackling when it's gotten to the secondary. We have missed a lot of just straightforward tackles, and the Bobcats have to keep the Wildcats out of the end zone here.
And there was that Bogan run again here on KFJB-TV. So coming up at halftime, we'll have our Scouting America halftime report as we will run over our highlights, talk stats and adjustments for the second half. Just 27 seconds to go as Rabarkak and the offense will be back out for the Wildcats. Bobcats in their away white bottoms and tops here tonight on the road. Pistol formation with 3 split out. Bogan, handoff right up the gut, and he'll spin around for about a 2-yard, maybe a 3-yard gain. Brought down at the 2, so that'll bring up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. Clock stops at 22 seconds to go in the second quarter as the Wildcats will take their second timeout here in the first half.
And you look at that, that puts Bogan over 70 yards of rushing. He's got 72 yards here. They have 119 total, along with Rabarkic has 61 in the air. But, yeah, with that one timeout, it's what are you looking at doing here? Will we see something in the air here? And to save that timeout, either go to the end zone, and then if you don't get it, you can do a run-pass option because you still have that timeout. Really, everything's still on the table with 22 seconds to go and one timeout in the bag. But this is a defensive stop. This is the game that if you can go into half down one score and you get the ball back and you get the ball coming out of the second half, Bobcats much better setup for that. You don't want to go down 2 scores when you've struggled to move the football.
All right, so 4 wide receivers split. Rabarkic has been a threat on the ground here tonight as Bogan is his back. Rabarkic will swing it to Bogan out of the backfield, diving for the end zone. Ball comes out. Sam Griesel has it covered up, and the Bobcats have a turnover in the end zone. It'll be a touchback out to the 20. Second turnover of the night on the Wildcats, and that is a huge one as they were looking to go up 14-0 heading into halftime, and it will remain 7-0.
Bogan tried to Superman it over the end zone, and who is it out here? But it is that Ethan Gorsuch? Ethan Gorsuch put his shoulder pad right on the football. Great job by number 3. That is a huge play and an all potential game saver for the Bobcats.
Here it is again as Bogan, and yeah, Gorsuch just going low with a good wrap-up tackle. And we had talked about it just a moment ago. You had mentioned it. Poor tackling here tonight, but right there, good tackling. Maybe that's
great tackling right there.
A little bit of coaching up on that sideline during those timeouts about wrapping up and making good plays defensively. So 15 seconds to go before halftime. Bobcats probably just going to kneel on it here before we head to the break, but you have to feel pretty lucky this is only a 7-0 game heading into the halftime break.
Defense has come up with plays when they've needed it here tonight.
Hayes will hand off. Left guard goes Ragland up to the 25-yard line, and that will do it for the first half of action here tonight as little gain by Davis Ragland. Final seconds tick off. And the Bobcats, looking to avoid an 0-3 start to the season, find themselves down just 7-0 at halftime with a nice goal line stand just before halftime.
It's a great way. You can see him running off the field as well. That big play right before the half. Get that morale up. Get ready to rock and roll. Get into that second half and be able to put points on the board.
Yeah, well, the Bobcats will have the second half kickoff and get the ball to begin the third quarter, which will be big. We'll see how the Bobcats do coming out of the break. Coming up, it is our Scouting America halftime report as we will get stats, adjustments, and highlights coming up. It's 7-0 at halftime. Davenport North leading your Marshalltown Bobcats right here on KFJB-TV.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Miller Middle School turns 100 next year. It has served generations of Marshalltown students well. Education has changed dramatically since Miller opened in 1925. Miller faces a long list of challenges, including limited technology capabilities, lack of space for learning, gathering, and new programming to prepare our students for the next step in their journey. Voters will consider a referendum in November to reimagine Miller for future generations. To learn more, go to marshalltowncsdfuture.com.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference. where we'll go the extra mile for you.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Back here at Brady Street Stadium at halftime, Davenport North 7-0 on top of your Marshalltown Bobcats as the band for Davenport North taking the field. And let's recap our first half of action here tonight. As heading into this one, we knew it was a pivotal Week 3 match, and Davenport North started with it. And on their first drive, they drove right down the field, but they went to the end zone on 4th down and 9, turnover on downs. They kind of had a wide receiver open as they were trying to target DeAndre Smith. He's been targeted a couple times tonight, but the ball was just a little bit too far outside. And here's that play on 4th down.
Yeah, Rabarkic just hasn't been able to be right on the money with that. That was close. Smith would have had to make a spectacular catch.
So the Bobcats would punt it away, Bobcats would get the ball in the next drive. They would punt it away, and on that punt, Burridge would fumble it back to the Bobcats. Bobcats then, after that, would punt it right back, and Davenport would go right down the field and put together a really nice 72-yard drive with just over 11 minutes remaining in the second quarter as Rabarkak here on the QB keeper on 1st and goal.
And that's where Lincoln Barker got sucked in. A great block on Kyle Smith on the outside, and he walked in.
So Rabarkak on the 8-yard TD carry. He had negative yardage of rushing coming into this one, -7, but he gets the big touchdown, and that's his second rushing touchdown of the season. PAT was good, and Davenport would take a 7-0 lead, Davenport North, that is. Then we would go punt for pretty much the rest of the way until Davenport North would close out the first half here tonight with a really long drive down the field, almost going 53 yards. But the final play offensively before halftime, almost going up 14-0. Gorsuch forces a fumble by Bogan into the end zone. Bobcats recover for the touchback. A huge way defensively to end that first half.
I don't think we can overstate how important that turnover was to keep this a one-score ball game with the way the Bobcats are moving the football, or not moving the football, but getting a chance right out of the half.
Sam Griesel with the recovery, and he's been a guy who's been just pretty steady. Offensively, he's made some nice plays, and defensively, doesn't seem like he's back there getting beat, and he's also coming up and making some nice tackles, that kind of thing.
Well, I think he is the answer to a trivia question that people wouldn't know. Who came in as the leading rusher for the Bobcats coming into tonight's game? It's actually Sam Griesel.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what Griesel doesn't play golf.
Yeah, no, he is also that. But yeah, I thought best play of Ethan Gorsuch's career so far. That was the most impactful play he's made in his Bobcat career, and then it was great to see Mr. Griesel, Sam Griesel, there to pick it up.
And that's how we would close out the first half, 7-0, as the Bobcats would run a final play with Ragland and not do a whole lot else, as they just wanted to get to halftime, feeling pretty lucky that this game is only 7-0 right now.
Yeah, if you're in the Bobcats locker room, you're like, it's a heavy exhale and just reset. You're ready to go. You've been able to dodge some bullets. You've been able to create some turnovers. Now it's time for the offense to slam the door and get it into the end zone.
Coming up next, we will get a scoreboard update with Jeff Brooks back at the KFJB studios. Again, 7-0 is our score at halftime as the Bobcats trailing Davenport North here at Brady Street Stadium. He's Dylan Doze. I'm Brandon Lewis. Thanks for joining us. This is Bobcat Football, News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
My son absolutely adores scouting.
Scouting hides values through fun.
My son's most favorite experience was going to South Korea as part of the World Scout Jamboree. He met people from all over the world. He gets access to so many different programs that he wouldn't have available to him otherwise, and the hands-on leadership is invaluable.
Andrew's building confidence because of scouting, and that's going to help him as he approaches interviews or jobs or even friendships later in life. I would recommend putting your kids in scouting. It's a great way for them to learn skills while having fun.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
From the KFJB studios, I'm Jeff Brooks with a Central State Bank scoreboard update. Looking at West Marshall tonight at home in State Center against Hampton-Dumont Cal. West Marshall trails at halftime 6-9. They're having some trouble holding on to the ball between the center and the kicker tonight. East Marshall having a great season so far this year, looking to go 3-0 for the start. East Marshall leads at halftime 20-0 against Eddyville Blakesburg. Colonesco tonight also leads at half against Glidden Ralston 20-14. South Hamilton struggling against Roland Story tonight at halftime. Roland Story leads 35-0. Also looking at Johnston at Valley this evening. Johnston leads at halftime 14-12, and Pella at Indianola 12-0. Pella leads. PCM versus Nevada 6-0 at the end of the first, and Waukee versus Sioux City North 35-0 at half. Also Council Bluffs Lincoln against Des Moines East tonight at halftime. Council Bluffs leads 21-6. And Fort Dodge at home against Dallas Center Grimes 14-7 at halftime. Fort Dodge leads that game. Also, Dowling at halftime leads Ankeny 13, or they're tied 13-13 at halftime against Ankeny. And Newton at Norwalk tonight with 35 seconds left in the half. Newton leads 20-14. That's your Central State Bank scoreboard update. Now back to Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze at Brady Street Stadium in Davenport.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Thanks for the scoreboard update here at halftime. 7-0 Bobcats are trailing to the Wildcats of Davenport North. We'll take a look at stats and adjustments coming up in just a little bit. Number one in Class 5A, we talked about it in Bobcat Game Day Live. Dowling number one this week after taking down Southeast Polk. You kind of had a couple weeks to assess what's going on in Class 5A, obviously Dowling being ahead of the class right now. Is there anybody else that you're kind of keeping your eye on in 5A that obviously going to make some noise?
I'm just intrigued by Centennial a little bit if I'm looking at a metro school. That would be the one that jumps out to me just because anytime you dismantle Ankeny, and I don't think this is not the best Ankeny team in a while. No. But I think anytime you dismantle somebody like that, that's someone that I'm looking at.
Yeah, for sure. As still a lot to be decided. It's hard to believe. I mean, I know it's week 3 already, but still, I think at the high school level especially, it's hard to get assessments on where teams really truly are, even though I know there's been a couple weeks.
Well, this game's a perfect example. You look at Davenport North is 2-0. Bobcats are 0-2. Bobcats are on the road at 7-0 at halftime. So you have the best record you can have, and you can have the worst record that you have. You come out in game 3, and it's a stalemate for all intents and purposes. So I think that's where we are in week 3. It seems week 3, week 4, week 5, you really start to see the cream rise to the top and the struggle bus crater to the ground.
Yep. That is for sure. We'll check out halftime stats and adjustments when we come back. We are at Brady Street Stadium in Davenport. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me. Zach Tomish, our producer. Keith Stewart, Jesse DeMeyer on camera work, and David Braga, our producer on site. Jeff Brooks back at the radio studios. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
When my kids come home from camp, they're so excited. They go on and on about all the activities they got to do.
My son loves to go fishing,
Cooking, photography, kayaking,
zip line, archery,
robotics, camping, oceanography,
swimming,
and radio.
He's got so many fun stories that he would share that we just wouldn't have otherwise.
Being involved in scouting, my boys have made lifelong friendships.
I would recommend putting your kids in scouting. It's a great way for them to learn skills while having fun.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Now time for a look at our stats from the first half, presented by Ken's Transmission of Marshalltown.
And the Bobcats, starting with the Bobcats, they have 60 total yards, all of them on the ground, led by Davis Ragland, 7 carries, 39 yards. Tyler England has 9 carries for 34 yards. Jacob Hayes has 5 carries for negative 12 yards. When you flip it to the other side, Davenport North has 181 total yards, but they do have those 2 costly fumble turnovers, but they have 120 on the ground with Rybarczyk, 7 carries, 31 yards, and that big 8-yard touchdown. Mason Bogan on 16 carries has 73 yards, but that costly fumble at the end. Derek Pena also has a carry for 16 yards. Kaz Rybarczyk is looking at, he is 6 of 10 from in the air for 61 yards, 33 of those going to Jacoby Worrells on 2 receptions, 1 to Drew Franklin for 11. Israel Harper has 2 for 14, and Mason Bogan with 3. The name that has 0 catches so far is Cunnell Burridge, who is their leading receiver on the year.
Yeah, hard to believe that stat at the break, as already 3 touchdowns and over 200 receiving yards coming into tonight. All right, our halftime adjustments for the Bobcats, probably fairly simple, but also it's one of those things, it is a big thing that has impacted just the execution of the offense. That was really the big thing. Defense, I thought, in that first half, really adjusted, started to pursue well to the edges, but it's just figuring out how to get some points on the board.
Yeah, defense, it's very simply the backside end has to contain, has to set the edge and contain. They have not done that. Offensively, I think what we're seeing is we are going to have to be effective in the pass game. The little veer left, veer right plays with Davis is starting to break some yards. But whenever we try to go to the full triple option, get it to the final pitch or pass, they have just swallowed us up. I think there's going to have to be initial look pass, just straight up pass to mix it up a little bit, and I assume earlier in the counts, in that first down, second down, instead of just waiting for 3rd and long.
Yep, that is for sure. 7-0 at the break. That is our stats and adjustments presented by Ken's Transmission, your family-owned transmission experts. Second half starts next right here on KFJB-TV.
Have you ever seen what it takes to fix a transmission? It takes a lot of patience, a lot of experience, and a whole lot of talent. At Ken's Transmission, they have all the above. Family owned and operated with over 62 years of experience in all areas of transmission, keeping your vehicle shifting smoothly, and routine maintenance, repair, and replacement, including automatic and manual. For reputable service you can trust, Ken's Transmission. Ken's Transmission at 306 East Anson Street in Marshalltown is a proud sponsor of the Marshalltown Bobcats.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Marshalltown Area Chamber. Meet in Marshalltown.com. Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction. And McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, quality furniture for every room in your home.
.73 as it is still muggy here at Brady Street Stadium. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me. Brady Street Stadium, not only the 3 public schools for Davenport here, but St. Ambrose University also has played here since the 1980s as well. So definitely a well-used stadium. They're going to expand for a new baseball facility coming up next year as well. So Still some development going on here in the Davenport area. 7-0 is our halftime score as the Bobcats getting ready to return the second half kickoff. As we see Coach and the crew, looks like, is that Alan Mann leading things in the middle there?
It sure looks like
it. Sure is, yeah. That's a guy who'll get you fired up.
He's got that strength and conditioning background. You know, you got to get your swole on before you get in. Get a few push-ups to impress
if you don't do
ladies.
What he says, he's going to make you, do extra strength and conditioning.
I like it.
Well, we didn't have a whole lot of kickoffs in the first half, just 2 of them. 7-0 our score at halftime. Kickoff presented by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate Team. New name, same amazing service now with more options. So the Bobcats still taking their time to head back out onto the field for the second half. As just got some score updates around the state of Iowa. As coming up, we'll get more score updates with Jeff Brooks back at the KFJB studios. So the Bobcats in their all-white tops and bottoms on the road here tonight. Meanwhile, for the Wildcats, blue tops, yellow numbers, and the white pants. Unga Pramana and Sam Griesel back to return for the Bobcats on the kickoff for the second half. It's been a tale of 2 halves for the Bobcats so far this season. It was a bad first half. That's usually an indicator they're going to have a really good second half, and they will definitely need to have one if they want to end up on top and get their first victory of the season. Wildcats 2-0. Bobcats are 0-2. Kickoff is away, and this one's going to be angle kick towards the sideline. Griesel thought about letting it go, but it just stopped right at about the 14-yard line. He'll pick it up and take it up to the 20-yard line. That was an awkward bounce it took, a sidewinder, and just died. I agreed with Sam Griesel. I thought that one was clearly going to go out of bounds, but it did not.
Yeah, the initial play is, let it go so you get it up at the 35, but when you looked at it, it was like a pitching wedge. It just sat on the green.
Well, maybe that was because we talked about not the golfer
he's not the golfer in the family.
Davis Ragland is out at running back to begin the second half as the Bobcats start at the 20-yard line. Ball in the far side hash. Kyle Smith split out to the near side. Hayes puts Pramana in motion. And Hayes is going to keep it off the right tackle. He'll go and up the seam. He picks up nice yardage. We didn't really see Jacob Hayes do that a whole lot in the first half. And that's a 6-yard gain, it looks like. Almost a 7-yard gain. It'll be second down and 3.
Yeah, his key, what he was looking at, the end crashed in, so he just kept the ball and went where they ain't. Nice pickup on first down. 2nd and 3.
Hayes will check things over, and now underneath center, Sam Griesel comes in motion. A pitch out, hits the arm of Pramana, picks it up, and it's a loss. And just as the Bobcats get a nice play on first down, again, those plays and the timing rearing its ugly head here to begin the second half, and it will be a long 3rd down and 8.
They do not have the pitch game figured out.
No.
It has not brought anything positive this season.
And you hate to remove something out of your playbook wholly, but it's almost getting, I would think, nearing that point.
And especially when you're in the flex bone, that's your 3rd read. That's after your 3rd read. So in order for it to get to that 3rd level, you need that to be in the bag. And so far it has not been.
3rd and 9 at the 21, and a handoff to Ragland, and the Wildcats expected that one to come. Ragland, though, in true fashion, carries some Wildcats on his back, but it'll be well short, and it will bring up 4th down and about 4, maybe about a long 3 here to come. But Ragland right there runs over Pena, looked like, and bounced off of him for a decent gain. So 4th and 3 at the 27-yard line, and the punt unit is out. Not how you wanted the second half to start for the Bobcats, as Johan Gomez will be out to punt away here. Burridge is back to return. And a nice spiral in the sky. Misplay by Burridge. Picks it up at the 40 after he lost it off of his fingertips. And he'll come out to the near side. Sam Griesel on the spot for the tackle, also helping out Zane Moore.
Yeah, nice 36-yard punt with a couple yards return. It really comes down to the Bobcat offense is dead in the water if we get negative plays. They are just not, and And when you get the dash in front of the number of how many yards you got, the Bobcats just really are going to struggle to score any points this year.
So the defense back out there. All drives tonight for the Bobcats have ended in a punt or the end of a half. Bogan slips one tackle at the ankles. He has a first down as he dives for the 45-yard line as he takes J.J. Schoenfelder with him to move the sticks. So Bogan back up to no good to begin the second half as breaking a tackle right there and using his speed to his advantage to get into Bobcat territory after one play. At the 45-yard line, he'll get the snap. Does Rabarkak, and he'll hand off to Bogan again, off right tackle outside the numbers he gets, and another strong gain of 8 yards. And so the Bobcats put it away, and now Davenport North driving quickly into Bobcat territory.
And they're messing around a little bit with tempo as well. This time they looked to the sideline, but before the last play, they just went up and went. Bobcats have to be locked in.
Pistol formation. Rabarkak hands off to Bogan, who tries to bounce off a tackle, can't. Jamison Niehaus comes up, makes the tackle at the line of scrimmage. It'll be third down and 2 yards to go at the 37-yard line with under 9 minutes to go in this third quarter. Pena will replace Bogan, and Pena is one of those tough backs. So the Bobcats will have to get ready here for a short 3rd and 3, possibly a run with the big back into the game now. Rabarkak takes the snap, hands off Pena, right tackle. He breaks the tackle, has the first down and more at the 20th. Stiff arm. Kyle Smith misses on the tackle. Touchdown, Wildcats. It's a 37-yard rush for Pena on 3rd and 3, and he makes the Bobcats pay again with poor tackling.
It went freeway. They were able to push Nacho. Nacho fell to the ground. Pena took off. Not only does he got power, he's got great speed. Shows off the speed. Then he puts Kyle Smith on the canvas, and then he gets into the end zone for 6.
PAT is up, and this one will sneak inside the left uprights. Is on for the PAT, Joseph Lai. It is good with 8:27, third quarter. It is now 14-0 Wildcats on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Bobcats now in a big hole, 14-0 off the touchdown run by Pena from 37 yards out. Broke one tackle, had a really nice block downfield, and then Kyle Smith didn't get low enough on the big back. Breaks that tackle easily and coasts into the end zone for an easy 6. As Derek Pena scoring right there for the Wildcats. Is coming into this one, he did have one rushing touchdown, 40 yards, but he's pretty much tied that here in one game here tonight. 8:27, third quarter. Bobcats have punted on all of their drives here tonight. Only one of their drives ended because it was halftime. Kickoff is all brought to you by Century 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, the Poly Real Estate Team.com. Sam Griesel to return on the far side, tries to reverse field, but doing nothing. He'll get up to the 24-yard line. And that's where the Bobcats will start their second drive of the second half. You know, I know the Bobcats installing a new offense. We've talked a lot about it. The timing an issue, this an issue, that an issue. Looking for an identity offensively, obviously, with the change up. But it almost seems to this point, through a couple of weeks, week number 1, it worked pretty well against Mason City. They were able to put up some points. But past 2 weeks, through just over 6 quarters of action, working on our 7th, they've only scored 1 touchdown.
And we have less than 70 yards of total offense here tonight.
Tyler England is back in at running back for the Bobcats. Hayes underneath center, brings the man in motion in Griesel. Fake it to him, he's going to go to the air. Over the middle to Gorsuch. Gorsuch had an arm holding him down, and it's going to be pass interference. And Parker Taylor is going to pick up the flag. And that will get the Bobcats a first down. I believe this is only going to be about, the second or third first down of the night for the Bobcat offense.
I believe it's the fourth.
Okay.
Davis, the first one I believe that isn't Davis Ragland, but is Jacob Hayes had one as well. But you look here,
right. Yep.
Nice job of just that straight back. That's what we talked about. It had to be a quicker progression pass, so he just fake out and through. Nice coverage. Both the safety and the corner didn't bite on it, but they definitely grabbed Gorsuch too quickly.
That will move the ball up to the 39-yard line and a first down for the Bobcats on the far side hash. Some confusion in the backfield, but Gorsuch breaks away from it. He's outside the hashes and dropped at the 40-yard line in Wildcat territory, but all that confusion allowed the Bobcats to find a seam, and Gorsuch picks up the first down after forcing a fumble and a big play defensively in the second quarter.
You see right there, he ran into Tyler England, and it ended up, like you said, it helped him. It threw everybody's rhythm off. It seems somebody is down on the field as well for the Bobcats.
It was Watson and Purnell, the big defensive tackles. They ran into each other on that. That's what really kind of helped Gorsuch find a little bit of a seam as we take a look at the alternate angle here. As just it looked like, I'm not sure what was going on there, but regardless, Bobcats pick up a first down. And the man who was carrying the ball, Gorsuch, is the one who's down on the turf right now.
He got popped pretty good.
Looked like he tried to come back out onto the field, but then that's when he fell down and was getting
you see this
looked at.
The end of the play. You get that helpful hand from England pushing him out there, and then just right up, he got hit right in about the sternum area.
And then he came back onto the field, and then he dropped down. So first down and 10 on the far side hash going towards the north end zone here at Brady Street Stadium for the Bobcats. Finally putting something together, down 14-0, 8:03, third quarter.
You've got to get 6 on this drive.
England underneath center as his quarterback Jacob Hayes checks out the wristband. Pramada comes in motion, handoff to England. England goes up the gut, but nothing doing. Runs into a brick wall, which is Carver Burgess, the senior defensive tackle, 6'7", 320.
I don't know, Brennan, when you're seeing this, but it seems like just being in sync from the line to the quarterback to the handoff, it just does not seem like they're all in one motion. It feels disconnected. It just
not
looks
the
slightly
fluidness
off.
you're hoping, for. Yeah. That is for sure. But a couple of first downs now, and the Bobcats go back to work here with Kyle Smith split out to the near side. Pramada goes in motion. Hayes is looking to pass, and he is eaten up. He'll just go down on his own before the big man and Kenyon Purnell, the junior defensive tackle at 320, will cover him up. And that will make it a third down and forever here in an offense not built for this. It's going to be a bad situation for the Bobcat offense, who will most likely have to go back to the air, or could be four-down territory in this situation, Dylan, as we're under 6:45 third quarter, 3rd and 17.
Yeah, that right side, Schaefer and Hancock just got steamrolled. They've got a big task in front of them, but they have allowed too much pressure off of the left side of their line, our right side of our line.
England the B-back, and Pramada on an end around. Stiff arms the defender, tries to get off the edge, can't. He'll gain about a yard, and it's 4th down and 16 at the 46-yard line. And here comes the special teams unit. Johan Gomez back out to punt. That's been the one positive side of things. Johan Gomez has done a pretty nice job punting tonight.
Well, he missed a couple weeks for punting stat purposes, so he wants to get it in 1 week, apparently. So
another drive for the Bobcats, ending in a punt here on 4th and 16, under 6 minutes, third quarter. Pressure up the middle. Gomez gets it away, line drive, and that's going to hit at the 5 and bounce into the end zone for a touchback with 5:40 third quarter. Bobcats down 14-0. I know we've talked a lot about bend but don't break defense, but the last one, Pena just ran right all over the Bobcats on his way to the end zone from 37 yards out. Barkat hasn't really been on point here tonight, but he hasn't really needed to be on point. The rushing game has been pretty good.
Yeah, this is they put up a lot of passing yards early this year, but the stats here tonight look a whole lot more like what they did last year when Davenport North won 35-21 in Marshalltown.
Handoff to Pena. I think they saw something in him the last drive, as just a tough bruising back to bring down as he goes off the left side for about 5 yards. Logan is going to check back in. And Pena is actually going to stay into the game. A wide receiver checked out of the game in Jacoby Worrells. So I guess maybe you call this your heavy package, even though they still have 3 wide receivers split out. Pena stands to the left of Rabarkak. And a pitch to Bogan to the near side. Trying to get to the edge. He's pushed out of bounds. Good pursuit by Johan Gomez to the edge. Nothing doing right there on 2nd and 5. It'll bring up 3rd and 5 for Davenport North. Maybe a loss of actually 2, I guess, after finally they spot the ball. So a 2-yard loss. So Gomez, again, that pressure off the edge. We talked about it in the pregame. That's showing up right there on that play.
Yeah, he did a nice job just trying to get it to the edge. That's where Johan's so good, is he's so athletic as the end. He's strong, but also athletic enough to go sideline to sideline.
And it looked like a little bit of motion early on one of the far side receivers in possibly Burridge. Number 1 got going a little bit quickly as it was 3rd and 7. They were definitely going to the air. And so that will back them up 5 yards and be a longer 3rd down and 12 to come on the next play. But Bobcat defense has been pretty good against the pass here tonight. It's just been that run game.
Yeah, and it's been good in fits and starts in running the ball.
Rabarkak drops back, steps up, unloads to Burridge. He's underneath of it, wide open, and he's going to take this one all the way for an 82-yard touchdown reception. Wow.
Kyle Smith.
And that's why he was jumping off sides on the last play.
Yeah, he knew he was getting the football.
Yeah.
He knew he was getting the football, but here you see it. Just does a post route, and Rabarkak got all the time he needed, ran across Kyle's face, and then just sprinted past him. Rabarkak was on the money for that one, and it's 6. Bobcats down big and in the danger zone for sure.
Rabarkak is the holder for Joseph Lai, the kicker for the PAT. Snap will come, and the hold is clean, and the PAT is up, and it is good. And it is 21-0. Wildcats leading the Bobcats on KFJB-TV.
Some drivers trade cars every year or every other year. Some drive their cars till they drop. Whatever kind of driver you are, Lennox Employees Credit Union is here to get you into the car for your style of driving. You're invited to go to our website, lennoxecu.com, for membership eligibility and loan rates, or call the office to talk to a loan officer. The loan process is quick and easy. Low auto loan rates from Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA.
What's your best round here? 68. 68. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
21-0 our new score as Davenport North. Rabarkak with a huge play to Connell Burridge, his 4th receiving touchdown of the year. That one an 82-yard hookup on a deep bomb. And the Wildcats busted out for 14 points in the 3rd quarter to take that 21-0 lead. Kickoff is all brought to you by the Poly Real Estate Team. Century 21, like Kristen and Kurt Poly, offer you the knowledge and service you deserve. Bobcats with Griesel back to return. He's up to the 30, slips the tackle up to the 35. He's on the hashes, and that's where the Bobcats will set up shop with 4:40 to go in the 3rd quarter here tonight at Brady Street Stadium. I'm Brandon Lewis, Dylan Dose alongside me here tonight. So obviously disappointment. How do you get yourself back into this one and not become so discouraged that the score becomes even more lopsided here tonight, Dylan?
It's get 7-8 yards on first down. You're going to have to string a couple first downs together. You're going to have to keep your defense off the field because right now I'm not even seeing Aiden Smitherman on the sideline in uniform right now.
And we've not seen him out there really defensively as well. So I don't know if there's some sort of injury or something of that nature. Handoff, England, left side will go. He does break a couple of tackles, runs over the linebacker for the Wildcats as Jaden Presser just obliterated on that by England to pick up 5 yards. And he'll bring up 2nd down and 5, while resting at the 40. So good run there for England.
Yeah, and it looks like Gomez is limping a little bit. He's going to stay in the game. But Tyler, what we saw in that first game, he was able to get a little bit of room that he ran with a lot of conviction. He seems to be running a little bit more with hesitation here tonight.
Bobcat offense will go back to work here on 2nd and 5. Handoff left side again. Ball pops out late, but England was down. He'll go ahead for 3 yards, and it will bring up a manageable 3rd and 2. That's been one thing where we've seen the reason that there has been so many punts here tonight by the Bobcat offense is because of a 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 8 situations.
Yeah, and even those worse off, those 3rd and 12, is this offense not set up to do a lot of 3rd and 8, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 12. 3rd and 2 is where they want to be.
England the back. He's underneath center. Pravana comes in motion around the edge. Fake it to him. Pass out to the flat. And Hayes is eaten up as soon as he is trying to get rid of that ball. And that will be an incomplete pass. And out the first couple of weeks, DeAndre Smith, the senior linebacker, making an impact here tonight. He comes up with a hit on Hayes on the pass.
Yeah, he's remained unblocked, and that's tough to allow the outside backer to remain unblocked when you're going to his side.
Down 21-0. Bobcats will go for it on 4th and 2. Gorsuch goes in motion. He'll stop. And the Bobcats look to the sideline for the play calls. They check their wristband. England the back with 3:13 to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, 21-0 is the score as the Bobcats trail. A decent pitch out to Gorsuch, but he loses it, and it's not going to matter regardless. It looks like Gorsuch popped on top of it. But it's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Bobcats will give it back to the Wildcats in plus territory. As we look at the replay here, as Gorsuch got it. It was a decent pitch, but he just got his fingertips on it, couldn't, and did recover it at the end. It looked like Gorsuch got it, and that's where the Wildcats will have it at the 44-yard line. So Bobcats have punted 7 times here tonight, and now a turnover on downs.
That was one that the pitch, if Ethan could have brought that in, that's a first down. It's just first turnover of the night, but it's the offense just cannot get anything going.
Rabarkak hands off to Pena, who just throws a Bobcat down in Lamar Jackson and will continue out to the near side, outside the numbers, up to the 40-yard line. It's a 4-yard gain for Pena, who is just punishing Bobcats here tonight with his physicality on offense.
Yeah, that should have been probably a 3-yard loss and resulted in a 3-yard gain.
2nd down, ball in the near side hash. Pistol formation, a heavy pistol, 3 wide receivers. Pena stands to left of Rabarkak. Bogan gets the pitch out. Pena blocking for him. And Bogan hustling off to the far sideline. Sneaks out of bounds right at the sticks. It looks like he might be about a yard or so short of the first down. It'll bring up a short 3rd down situation. It's actually pushed out of bounds much earlier than I thought. I thought he got closer to the first down yardage, but it's going to be a 3rd down and about 4 yards to come here. I think scoreboard thought they got almost about 1 yard away too, but did not. Snap comes. Bogan gets a handoff right up the gut. He'll trip down, and it will be 4th down at about 2 as he stumbles ahead. I don't know if he really got hit right there. I don't know if he stumbled with an offensive lineman or what, but 4th down and about 2 yards to go for the Wildcats, Dylan.
You look at this Wildcat offense, one thing's interesting. I mean, their pitch game, it's a really interesting because it's not a traditional pitch. It's just kind of like a one-arm kind of just
lob
fling or something. Yeah, it's a unique way of doing it.
They'll go for it, 4th and 2, and a man wide open, caught up at the 25-yard line. Drew Franklin hauls in the catch, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 23-yard line. That will move the sticks. It's a 13-yard pickup through the air.
That was a really good play design. You look at Cunnell Burridge drives Pramana off, and he's just able to sit right underneath. Drew Franklin just comes right underneath there and is wide open.
Second half has been all Wildcats.
Yeah.
I mean, it was mostly Wildcats there in the first half, but Bobcats were just hanging around. They found a couple of turnovers, which helped keep the game a little bit closer. But so far here in the second half, all Wildcats. They're deep into Bobcat territory now at the 23-yard line. Bogan trying to bounce off a few Bobcats. Can't really go anywhere. And he does spring forward for about maybe a half-yard gain as Davis Ragland helps make the tackle along with Niehaus and Gomez.
Yeah, and Bogan's right near 100-yard rushing territory. He's just underneath with 96 yards on the night on 23 carries.
Last year, Bobcats lost this game 35-21 and have not found the scoreboard here tonight.
Norris defense has been really stout. Bobcats offense has been in disarray.
Pena is the back of the pistol. Robarkak will hand it off. And up the middle, Pena will go, kind of picking and choosing his path as he'll get over the 20-yard line into the red zone near the 18. And so that will bring up 3rd and 5 as we count down the final seconds of the third quarter. And that looks like that will send us to the 4th. Wildcats deep in Bobcat territory, 21-0. They take the lead and the ball into the fourth quarter here on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and on KFJB-TV.
From the KFJB studios, I'm Jeff Brooks with the Central State Bank scoreboard update. Gilbert and Mason City tonight. Gilbert leads at halftime 35-14. Ankeny Centennial at Cedar Falls tonight, and Centennial leads in the third quarter with 24-7. And final score for Waukee against Sioux City North. Waukee wins 52-8. That's your Central State Bank scoreboard update. Now back to Brandon.
Not a huge surprise there. Waukee getting the victory here tonight. They have looked pretty good early on this year as well. Fourth quarter begins. Robarkak on 3rd and 5 will scramble out, and it looks like he's going to lose the ball. Pena picks it up. Robarkak was about a yard short of the first down. It was going to be about a 4th and 1, but he fumbles. Pena picks it up and loses a couple of yards right there. So it's going to be about 4th down and 4. After it's all said and done, and we'll see the Wildcat offense stay on the field. 21-0 our score. Wildcats with 2 third-quarter touchdowns. Here's the replay on KFJB-TV, Dylan.
Yeah, you see scramble mode gets out there and then just trips and fumbles it. And Coach Adam Height, even if they win shutting out, they've had 4 fumbles here tonight.
4th and 4. They go for it. A tiptoe catch on the near sideline up to the 10. That will move the chains. That is a 7-yard pickup through the air. And coming up with the pass for the first time tonight. Was that number 7 or 8 on that
8.
one? That was. Okay, so finally getting his first catch of the night, DeAndre Smith. He's been targeted a few times here tonight.
Yeah, that's a really good quick ball out to the edge. He was able to bring it in.
Pena is the back in the pistol. 4 wide receivers set. Pena, they'll fake the handoff. Robarkak spins out of a tackle at the 10 down to the 5-yard line. here on 1st and goal. So that'll be 2nd and goal at the 4. It's a 6-yard pickup as we have 1 minute gone here in the 4th quarter here tonight. Barkek being made to look like a Michael Vick here tonight, as not hugely known for rushing, but he is having success against the Bobcats.
And he's forcing them to keep it honest and just being able to pick up. It doesn't always have to be the 35-yard play, but just picking up yards over and over.
Pena has been a solid back here tonight. He'll stand and block for Barkek, who goes to the air on 2nd and goal and tap at his toes on the near side. DeAndre Smith makes the reception. Touchdown for the senior. Has not played this year, but it's week 3. Back into action, and he makes the catch. It's a 4-yard touchdown reception for Smith as the Wildcats back on the board, extending their lead now 27-0.
And DeAndre Smith, he just used his Smith used his height on Pramana, just basketball post him up and went up and got it. Pramana really didn't have anything he could do. See that play one more time. You see the pass out to the corner, just a perfectly placed ball. Earlier on in the 1st quarter on that 4th down, he overthrew him there. He put it right on the money.
Joseph Lyon for the PAT, and he is 4-4 on the night. It's 28-0 Wildcats. 10:30, 4th quarter. Bobcats will receive the kickoff when we come back on KFJB-TV.
Life can take unexpected turns. Maybe you started college, but life got in the way. At Marshalltown Community College, we understand. It's never too late to chase your dreams. Come back to where your journey began. Rediscover your passion for learning and let us help you achieve your goals. Schedule a visit today at MarshalltownCommunityCollege.com.
Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction.
Promo. Welcome back to Brady Street Stadium as the Bobcats trailing Davenport North 28-0. Coming up after the game, it is the Wells Fargo Advisors Locker Room Report, highlights, and post-game interview with head coach Adam Goodvin here on KFJB-TV. Kickoff just a second away, all brought to you by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate team. New name, same amazing service now with more options. Bobcats back to return, down 28-0. Sam Griesel back to return, as well as Unga Pramada. Near side kickoff to Griesel, caught at the 15. And he is run into by his own man. And I think that might be Lamar Johnson, and it is. Is Lamar Johnson slow to get up? It looks like his right leg, he kind of hurt on that. As Johnson forced into starting tonight after Zach Wilder out with an injury here tonight. So hopefully he is all right. Shook it up a little bit on the play right there as the Bobcats will send the offense back out with 10-14 4th quarter.
Yeah, I hope he's okay. He got popped.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look so much his legs, but hopefully he's
the legs
okay.
were a little bit
They were a little
wobbly,
bit wobbly.
Getting up. Yeah. He'll get checked out on the far sideline. As you see there, just a big collision as he was coming into the play as Sam Griesel was returning on the near side. Jacob Hayes at quarterback. Tyler England, the running back for the Bobcats.
Only positive play in the passing game has been a pass interference.
Start the drive at the 27-yard line. Hayes, pressure, and nobody open, and eaten up in the backfield. Braden Richardson, the senior, in for the sack for this Wildcat defense, which has gotten pressure on Jacob Hayes a number of times tonight.
Max Reed got beat right off the go. He just let him go right inside of him, didn't even touch him. And that's the stuff is like, that's not you got outmanned, that's you let him go. And you can't just let the end be released right inside of you to get your quarterback destroyed.
England will get the handoff, slips a tackle, slips another tackle, and fighting off ankle tackles at the 35 as he pushes to the 39-yard line. And that is a really nice gain of 17 yards for Tyler England to pick up the first down for the Bobcats with 9:27 4th quarter.
Love to see he just keeps plowing ahead. It just keeps those legs going. Got caught up there right around the line and then picked up another 7-8 yards after contact. Great run by the sophomore.
Ragland's back in at the B-back as Zane Moore is split out to the near side. Kyle Smith to the far side of the formation. Hayes will go to the air, slings it out near side, and it's in between the hands of Declan Green, incomplete, and second down and 10. 9 minutes exactly on the clock in the fourth quarter, and those are the plays I know Coach was talking about last week. We just, you just got to have right there to at least pick up 3-4 yards.
Yeah, Declan's got to be able to catch that football. That was probably the best pass pro we've had all night. A quick little out route. And Jacob put it right on his hands, couldn't make the catch.
Well, those quick reads also kind of help with, kind of deterring some of that quick pressure for sure. Hayes underneath center. He'll drop back, look to pass to Kyle Smith. Caught up at the 45 and immediately dropped. So 6-yard pickup through the air, nearly a 7-yard gain, and it will bring up a manageable third down now. Call it a gain of nearly 7 yards, so 3rd and 3.
See just a quick pitch and catch there, a little 5-yard stop route and throws it right out there.
Moore and Smith split out. Nobody there for the handoff. A miscommunication play, but Hayes scrambles ahead for nearly 3 yards. He's going to be about a half yard short of the first down on 3rd and 3. Needed the 49 for the first down. He's at the 48.5-yard line, and the Bobcats will go for it, keep the offense out there on 4th and short. Taking a bad play and making something good out of it there for Jacob Hayes.
Yeah, he didn't wait around too long.
And he'll scramble ahead on 4th and short, and he'll pick up the first down as the Wildcats force the ball out late. But Jacob Hayes and the whistles had blown. He was down. First down for the Bobcats up at the 49-yard line. That's what he needed for the first down. Officials they will now signal for the first down. And under 8 minutes to go in the game, Bobcats still not on the scoreboard tonight, trailing 28-0, trying to put something together here late to get on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the offense just has not been able to be consistent.
First and 10 at the 49. Ball on the far side hash for the red and blue. Declan Green comes in motion. Fake a pitch to him. Hayes rolls out near side. Trying to look for something, and an incomplete pass. Parker Taylor, the corner, read the play all the way as Hayes was looking for Zane Moore, but it is nearly an interception. Read well by the senior DB.
Yeah, he was already looking for his end zone dance. He thought he had that thing wide open, and he knew it. He knew there was a lot of green in front of him.
Heartbreaker for him. But not for the Bobcats. Parker Taylor not able to come up with the interception. Handoff to England, left side of the offensive formation. He'll sprint ahead for a nice gain after looking to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage, but found a seam, and he's over the 45-yard line in Wildcat territory as he's brought down at the 43.5-yard line. So bring up a manageable 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, he's got almost 70 yards on the ground, leading the Bobcats in touches with 14 rushes tonight.
And a flag will fly in here on 3rd and 3 with 7:02 to go in the game. And lined up offside are the Wildcats, and that will give the Bobcats a free first down on 5-yard penalty.
You don't see that too often where they just start offsides.
Few reserves working their way in there for the defensive side for the Wildcats, but still some starters out there, including DB Bryce Pauley. He's on the near side edge. England will go off of right tackle, and he's covered up from behind. A hard tackle by Tretarius Watson, the junior defensive lineman, as he is talking, picking up his helmet. He'll have to come out for the play right here. He is a big boy marching off the field.
Big dude. They've got a few that are just big men.
England with the 3-yard gain sets up 2nd and 7. Ball resting in the middle of the field. Bobcats trailing, if you're just joining us, 28-0. England the back. Zane Moore split out to the far side. England a dance as he tries to sidestep a defender and get outside left tackle, but can't quite. He will gain nearly 2 yards. And that will bring up 3rd down and about 5 yards. Looks like we have a timeout on the field. An injury. It's a Bobcat down. It looks like Tyler England is the player down. So we will take a timeout. Injury timeout, 28-0. Bobcats trailing, 5:56 to go in the football game on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you want to kick off football season in a new recliner, pass the bread at a beautiful new dining set, or lay up on a luxurious sectional sofa, McGregor's is the right play. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from their friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selections at McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
Just under 6 minutes remaining here at Brady Street Stadium. As you look at Pena, the running back right there on the near side sideline. He's had a good game rushing-wise. A touchdown rush earlier this one of 37 yards. Bobcats 3rd and 6 out of the timeout. Davis Ragland's back in at running back as England is out of the game after that injury. Ragland will go off the left side and get around the hashes up to the 30-yard line. And that's going to be about a yard short of the first, so it'll be 4th down and 1 coming up for the Bobcats.
Davis has run incredibly hard here tonight. He's actually, so if you look at just the straight numbers with Davis and Tyler, it looks like, you know, it's going all right. Bobcats up over 120 yards rushing. It's just not the ability to really link a big plays back to back.
Yeah, sustaining drives has been a struggle here tonight. Bobcats will sneak right up the middle. They'll pick up 4 yards and a 1st down as they go right up the middle with Jacob Hayes, the quarterback, on the keeper.
Nice job by the junior being able to use his length and a little bit of a pirouette and got him a couple extra yards there.
Pirouette, yeah, wow. You know your moves.
I do.
I'll give you that.
It's my 13 years of classic
salsa
dance
classes.
Training. Yes.
1st and 10 for the Bobcats at the 25 in Wildcat territory. Hayes brings a man around the edge in Declan Green. Hayes looking to go to the air. Pump fakes. He's got Zane Moore wide open for a 25-yard touchdown connection. Zane Moore, the sophomore wide receiver, 6'2", 176, his first varsity touchdown of the season.
Before the game, you mentioned to me it's going to be kind of cool to see what Zane Moore can do when he's healthy and on the field, and there it is. Jacob put it right on the money. He beat the defensive back, and Zane Moore with his first touchdown. Congratulations to the sophomore.
Again, we've seen Jacob Hayes a couple weeks in a row now just play really well, but it's been a little bit of the supporting cast, which has let him down at times. Bobcats, though, get on the scoreboard for the first time here in the game. 28-7 is the PAT by Mawing. Hay is good. We'll take a timeout. 4:29 to go in the football game on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
(28-7) our scores. We look at that last touchdown by the Bobcat offense as Jacob Hayes, the 27-yard connection to Zane Moore as the sophomore, a young player. A lot of sophomores making impacts this year, and you know, there's good and bad to go with that. Many more years ahead, but also still some young learning moments out there. But Jacob Hayes with a good connection.
Yeah, I love how Zane you're going to be your first touchdown. That can you can have too many things going through your brain to make the easy difficult. But he had a nice job
Too much thinking going on.
Slowing down his stride, being right there for it, securing the catch and getting the 6.
So it gets the Bobcats on the scoreboard as it's now 28-7, and an onside kick for the Bobcats onto the far side. Kickoff all brought to you by Century 21, the Poly Real Estate team, and it will be covered up by Davenport North at the 45-yard line.
You got that big bounce that you want, but the Davenport North did a nice job with their hands team of securing it.
So 45-yard line is where Davenport North will set up shop. We'll see if some of the reserves are going to be in there. No, they will not be. Still the starting crew out there with a 21-point lead with 4:25 to go in the game. Rabarkak in at quarterback, and Bogan, the starting tailback, still in there as well as his receiving crew.
200 yards on the ground tonight, 168 through the air. Half of that on that big 82-yard pass play to Burridge.
Pena stands to the left. He'll block for Bogan. Bogan trying to bounce out near side, and he'll try to get to the edge, but Pramada, a great play defensively, comes up off of his corner spot, and he'll wrap up Bogan for just a 1-yard gain. That's good pursuit.
That was a great pursuit. They strung out the play. It looked like the Bobcats could get him at a couple different times, but he had to keep bouncing to the outside, keep bouncing. Bogan he couldn't find that north to south lane, and finally Pramana takes him to the ground.
2nd and 9 for Barkak, and Bogan will get the handoff again. He'll fight off an initial tackle, but Jamison Niehaus brings him down at the 50. That'll be a 4-yard gain, and it will be 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
I'm looking forward to rewatching this game, specifically looking at Niehaus. It seems every time there's a ball carrier around him, he doesn't miss tackles. He's where he needs to be. He's another sophomore. We've talked a lot about sophomores throughout the night, but he's another one that played quarterback and linebacker with that freshman team, has a good arm, but has found playing time strictly on the defensive side so far this year.
Nearing the 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Rabarkak a pitch out on the far side. Niehaus gets in there, gets the pressure, contains the edge. Holding's going to come in as a flag flies on 3rd and 5. Bogan dives ahead for about a 1-yard gain, but it looked like Holding out there on the far side of the field. Niehaus was nearly getting held as he tried to contain that edge.
Pena was trying to, you'll see Pena's the one keying on him to block, and that's where they're going to call the hold, and you can see
that right shoulder back.
Yeah, when Niehaus tried to turn to go after the running back to pursue the Pena still had him engaged. Easy call right in front of him.
Bring up 4th and 3 as the Bobcats will decline the penalty, interesting enough.
That is interesting. You going for the 4th down?
Because they're going to go for it, it seems like. I really doubt that the Wildcats, with a 21-point lead with 2:45 to go,
they just want to. They don't want to get the first down to score again.
Yeah.
They want to get the first down so they don't have to
give the
ball up again and just have this game go.
Pistol formation looked like a false start, but Pena's going to go ahead for 2 yards. And it will be a turnover on downs on the Wildcats on 4th and 3. They only get 2. Pena can't get enough, and a good job by the Bobcats to get the ball back with 2:27 to go in the game. Bobcats still have all 3 of their timeouts. They can maybe hit for another quick score here, cut this lead down to 14.
You can make the Davenport North coaching staff sweat, and not just because it's muggy out here tonight. If you could put some stuff on it. But a big shout-out for the Bobcats defense. They've gotten off the field. They've stopped them on 4th down on multiple occasions. It's really just been there hasn't
mainly
been
it's just that third quarter.
And they haven't been able to get scores. That's
7 punts tonight for the Bobcat offense, including a turnover on downs. So 2:26 to go in the football game. England is in at running back. 2 wide receivers set. Zane Moore, Kyle Smith. Hayes will go back to pass. Fires out quickly to the far side at the 50. Caught by Kyle Smith. Pushes ahead near a first down. Looks like he's going to be about 2 yards short of the first. So an 8-yard connection from Hayes to Kyle Smith as we near 2 minutes to go in the football game.
Right before that play, Kenyon Purcell came out. He's 6'5", 320. Between, you see him getting some pressure there, but Jacob did a great job of getting it out there. There are just 6'5", 300-pounders in eastern Iowa all over the place.
Hayes back to the air, comes near side, diving is Zane Moore, and they say it's going to be incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. Zane Moore hit the turf, as the officials say that one maybe bounced to him, but 3rd and 2 at the 46-yard line in Wildcat territory for the Bobcat offense.
Jacob rushed that throw a little bit. He had the time to put it on him. You see he's on the run, getting a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, just kind of trapped it on the turf there. 3rd down and 2. Wildcats creeping to the line of scrimmage. Hayes back to the air, looking to the far side, and it is going to be caught at 1st down yardage at the 40. And spinning out of the tackle is Declan Green, and diving ahead for possibly another couple yards at the 38-yard line. So nice job to move the chains.
Gorsuch. It was Ethan Gorsuch.
Ethan Gorsuch? Okay.
Yeah, it's when that 3 and the 9, when it kind of gets bunched up. It looks like the same number.
All right, so it is Gorsuch with the 1st down catch. Hayes back to the air. And over the middle of the field, he'll fire, and it's Gorsuch again. Caught down at the 26-yard line. That is a 1st down, a 12-yard pickup for the Bobcats to move the chains.
Jacob trying to place that football. I think if he would have just thrown it, I think that could have been a chance for a touchdown because Ethan was wide open down that seam.
Hayes will go back to the air here on 1st and 10. Now he'll scramble with it as he tucks it at the 20, puts his shoulder down, and gets down to the 18-yard line with 1:05 and counting remaining in the game. 2nd down for the Bobcats in Wildcat territory as the Bobcats in the Ethington Heating and Cooling red zone. Ethington Heating and Cooling, we're not comfortable until you are. Hayes underneath center. Clock counting. He'll drop back. Looks to pass the left side. Now rolls out near side as he'll throw it out short. And this is going to be back to nearly the line of scrimmage. No, actually a little bit more, they say. So down to the 15. That'll stop the clock with 39 seconds to go in the game as Zane Moore makes his 2nd catch of the night right there to move the chains.
You're winding the clock here with 35 seconds. Bobcats getting some rhythm, and it seems they get in rhythm when they're also able to throw the ball.
Back to the air, Hayes scrambling, breaks out of a tackle. Hayes might have a seam. He's at the 10-5, puts a shoulder down, dives for the end zone, touchdown. Jacob Hayes with 18 seconds to go in the game. That is a statement run of 15 yards by Jacob Hayes, imposing his will on the Wildcats here near the end of this one.
He took a pop, too, did a nice job of evading the rush. Looked like he may have had someone, looked like he might have had Gorsuch cutting open across, or Kyle Smith, but he saw the beeline for the end zone, just leveled a Wildcat and then was able to score. Nice job, nice run by the junior.
Luis Monghay on for the PAT to make it a 14-point game with 18 seconds to go in this one. And the kick is up, and it is good, and that will make it 28-14 our score. Bobcats in this one making a late statement, 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns here tonight, and leaves you feeling a little bit better about this one on the road.
Well, you saw some rhythm happening, and yes, you can say, hey, they were down 4 touchdowns, but there's still a lot of starters out there for the Wildcats. For me, is when it's just in this flex bone. There you see the alternate view for the end zone. Nice job. But for me, with the flex bone where it's so run heavy, and when they've run straight flex bone this year, they get no rhythm.
Yeah.
It's when they're able to adapt, hurry up, do some of the passing as well. It feels like this team may need to tweak some elements. Not that you go away from the structure of the flex bone, but you have to mix in some stuff earlier on to get rhythm.
DeAndre Smith, who's had a nice night defensively and caught a touchdown, he was the one who got ran over right there. So he had been, maybe Jacob Hayes was realizing, and this guy's been after me all night. I'm going to get after him on this play, which was a good play. Luis Monghay up for the onside kick, all presented by Century 21, Marshalltown's #1 home team, the PolyRealEstateTeam.com. Wong Hae with the onside kick. Takes a high bounce. Not going to go 10 yards, though. And this one will be a flag, and the Wildcats will most likely just put a knee down and end this game here tonight. Bobcats with 14 points in the fourth quarter here tonight to end it out. But still a lot to work on. You were kind of alluding to that. Maybe a little bit of, not wholesale changes, but maybe some just slight adjustments which can help them going forward the rest of the season.
Well, and it feels like maybe what they want to do, because Coach Goodwin always said, hey, it's going to be a flex bone, but we're going to throw more. And what we had seen is they have not thrown more until they're down big. But there does seem to be some rhythm with it. You've got to be able to mix it up, because the runs have some effectiveness, but when you get stopped on first down and then it's 3rd and 8 or whatever, and you're running that, it just doesn't work.
Robarkak will put a knee down, and that will end this one. 28-14 will be our final score here tonight at Brady Street Stadium, as the Bobcats will drop to 0-3, and the Wildcats now improve to 3-0 on the season. This is a Wildcat team that's definitely going to test some of their opponents, including Waterloo West, who the Bobcats will see later this year, but they're definitely going to put a test to a lot of teams on this eastern portion of the state.
Right, and North beat the Bobcats last year, but they've already beat a couple opponents that they lost to last year, so they're sitting with the best record they possibly can have. They get West next week. West has some playmakers. They've got big bodies on the line. We get to see them on homecoming first week of October. But yeah, that should be a good game. Get us a little bit of understanding of maybe what we might see with Waterloo West as we get ready to try to get off this snide. Going 0-3 is not what the Bobcats had in mind.
28-14, again, our final score here tonight. Coming up, we head to the locker room report, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social. And that's just on the inside. Step outside and enjoy patio life at Gutter Point with drinks, shuffleboard, live music, and fun atmosphere. Follow Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to plan your next visit to the place for fun.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
28-14, the final score as the Bobcats fall to Davenport North and fall to 0-3 on the season as Davenport North remains undefeated with the victory here tonight. Bobcats played a little bit better in the second half as far as offensively, especially in the fourth quarter, still against some of the starters for Davenport North. But first half, it was 7-0 at halftime, and we felt like it could have been much worse for the Bobcats, but they got a couple turnovers, got a turnover right before halftime, which really kept them kind of hanging around. And so that's where you felt like the Bobcats got the ball to start off the second half. You felt pretty confident coming into the second half of action.
It's very much so. You thought, hey, you come down, you move the football. We didn't move the football. 3-and-out punted, 3-and-out punted, 3-and-out. Like, it was just punt after punt after punt with no variety, no ability to move the football.
2 touchdowns tonight offensively, but 7 punts and a turnover on downs, an end of half on another drive. So really, I mean, that just goes to your point. I mean, just not a lot of effectiveness. The effectiveness came when, as you were saying at the end of the game, started to mix it up, add in some more passes into the mix.
Yeah, and they also, in the second half, they passed without going through the progression of the triple option, the flex bone, to where it was a quicker pass. And, of course, you can say when people are up 28, 4 touchdowns, people, loosen up a little bit, and that's completely true. But I do think the Bobcats had moments where they ran the football well. You look, I thought Tyler England and Davis Ragland ended up having pretty good games, but you have to be able to balance that and get yards from somewhere else.
All right, let's look at our highlights from the second half here tonight, as it was 7-0 at halftime. And coming out of the break, Bobcats got it, but they punted it for the 6th time on the night. Davenport North got the ball back. Third quarter, 8:27 to go. And it was on this play by Pena, 37-yard touchdown rush to put Davenport North up 14-0, as just really a good run. He ran over a Bobcat initially, put a stiff arm to Kyle Smith, and finished it off 37 yards out. Then just about 4 minutes later, after a Bobcat punt, or Barkat to Burridge for his first passing touchdown of the night, 82-yard bomb right here on this play as he beat Kyle Smith for the long play.
Right on the number 1 for 6.
Yeah, and Burridge would hustle in, make it 21-0 after the PAT. Bobcats would turn it over on downs on their next drive, and Rabarkak would team up with, this time, DeAndre Smith getting his first touchdown reception of the season with 10:30 to go in the fourth quarter. And it was from just 4 yards out, but a nice play as Pramada on the coverage just couldn't quite get to that one. DeAndre Smith making the catch, 28-0. Bobcats, 6 minutes later, would put their first score of the game into the end zone to get on the scoreboard, making it 28-7 as Jacob Hayes passed to Zane Moore. Zane Moore making his first varsity touchdown catch right over the middle, and definitely enjoyed himself after that score right there to make it 28-7. Turnover on downs by Davenport North on their next drive. Jacob Hayes would rush it in with 18 seconds to go in the football game, a 15-yard score, and it was a big one for the Bobcats. As we look at it right here, Hayes saw some pressure on the right side as he just spun off the tackle, goes to the edge of the end zone, runs over DeAndre Smith, who caught that touchdown we showed you just a moment ago, and Hayes makes the final score 28-14 as he came up with that touchdown, and the PAT was good. That's how we finish this one off, 28-14, our final score. When we come back, we'll be joined by head coach Adam Goodvin on the Locker Room Report, all presented by Wells Fargo Advisors. This is Bobcat Football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Sports Plus, sportsplusTherapy.com. Wayward Social, the place for bowling, games, food, and more. And Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, helping you develop strategies for pursuing your financial goals.
Now time to visit with head coach Adam Goodvin, all presented by Edward Jones. Zach Wall, your financial advisor in Marshalltown.
Back in, I'm here with Coach Adam Goodvin. Coach, 28-14 loss drops us to 0-3 at halftime. It was 7-0. Big defensive play, caused a couple turnovers. What were you seeing from your defense there in the first half, making those big plays?
I think it was more of a bend but don't break type of attitude they had. Very proud of their effort, and only giving up 7 points it was a solid job. We felt good coming out of the half.
And then you look at a number that's jumping off the screen for me when I watch is number 15 on defense. Jamison Niehaus seems when the ball's in his quarter, when he has to cover, he makes the right play and is very good tackler as well. What can you say about his maturation process since taking over for Xavier Anderson?
Yep, he's an elite competitor. He's a young kid, but he doesn't play like it. And I think the best way to describe Jamison is he's an excellent football player.
And then you look at 7-0, come out, have the chance to get the ball right out of into the second half, and you go 3 and out. Where are you seeing kind of the miscommunication or the missteps as you look to install the flexbone offense?
Well, I think it was a lot of the same stuff we saw last week. I think our kids need to. Well, I think the biggest thing is going out with some confidence and an expectation, that they're going to make plays and they ought to want the football and things like that. And there's a learning curve to this, and we're going to get there. I know it. The kids know it. But I think if they've got that baseline of that expectation, that swagger, that they're going to go out and execute, make plays, and want the football and do all that, things are going to be good.
And it does seem like you've had to put in a lot of different slot backs here tonight. We saw a lot of Anga Permana, Ethan Gorsuch. But then you look at later on, of course, down 4 touchdowns, you go to the air a little bit more. There has to be some things you did like when the Bobcats went to air in those last couple touchdown drives.
Yeah, I think the thing I liked the most was the fight that they showed, and we just can't be inconsistent with that, though. I challenge the guys here at the end of the game. You got to continue fighting for your buddies, your best friend. You got to have that warrior attitude and come out and just get after it. And it can't be whenever you want. And we're talking offense, defense, special teams. It's got to be, that light switch has got to be on at all times. If you're between those white lines, you're not taking a break.
And that's where you go 0-3, still have a lot of the season left. We talk a lot, what do you do Monday when it comes back, when you go to a plan for next week?
We'll look at Newton film, and then we'll make sure that we're getting better. We'll look at film and grade it out, and then and go from there.
Thank you very much, Adam. Back to you, Brandon.
All right, thanks, Dylan. That is our post-game interview with head coach Adam Goodvin. All brought to you by Edward Jones, Zach Wall, your financial advisor in Marshalltown. We'll take a look at the sweet play of the game and name our player of the game when we come back on the Locker Room Report, all presented by Wells Fargo Advisors on KFJB-TV.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Zach Wall can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started by giving Zach Wall a call at 641-752-3017 in Marshalltown or visiting edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
.62, Coach. 62. First down. We're doing this so that the kids can continue to play. Like we used to enjoy playing when I was in high school. I understand how fun it was, and I want that same fun to be had by the kids now. So that's why we need more officials to keep these games going on.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Welcome back in on the Locker Room Report. It is now time for our player of the game, all presented by Opa Grill of Marshalltown. Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say is Opa. Our player of the game here tonight is Jacob Hayes. 6 of 13 through the air, 82 yards through the air, and a touchdown pass here tonight to Zane Moore. Also 14 rushing yards and a touchdown rush at the end of the game, which was a very impressive rush on the ground. I almost thought that was a statement by the quarterback. I've been under pressure so much here tonight, I'm going to lay the wood on that defensive side, and well-deserved here for Jacob Hayes. He's been battling the last 2 weeks. You can see it really kind of coming together for him.
Yeah, I love it. It's almost like Smith said, Red Rover, let Jacob come over, and he just went over the end zone, got 6. That was a great rush. And he's, to have that kind of tenacity after things not going your way for 3 quarters and being able to execute late. Great job by Jacob.
Yeah, that is for sure. That is our player of the game, all brought to you by Opa Grill in Marshalltown, awarding a $25 gift certificate to the Bobcat player of the game. We will take a timeout. We'll see our Lily May Sweet play of the game and wrap things up from Davenport North. This is Bobcat football. You're watching KFJB-TV.
What does OPA mean? OPA means joy, enthusiasm, and approval. And when you dine at Opa Grill in Marshalltown, you'll understand why. With their made-to-order pastas, soups, and salads made daily with the freshest ingredients. Favorites include chicken parmesan pan-fried to perfection, fresh and light chicken lemon rice soup, and their signature Opa salad topped with seasoned gyro meat. Opa Grill Family Restaurant in Marshalltown, where you can dine in or drive through. All you have to say is, Opa!
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Well, Davenport, the host side here tonight for the Marshalltown Bobcats as they come up 28-14 on the negative side of things tonight and drop to 0-3. Davenport North now 3-0 on the season. As we're back in on the Locker Room Report, all brought to you by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. Now time for our sweet play of the game, all presented by Lily Mae Chocolates, handmade, hand-dipped since 1939, always open at LilyMaeChocolate.com. And it came on nearly the last play of the first half. It was a huge play to keep the game at 7-0 right here. Ethan Gorsuch with our play of the game. As Dylan, it was a nice play. Forced the fumble on Bogan. Sam Griesel recovered it.
Yeah, the defensive back struggled to tackle, but Ethan didn't there. Kept his head up, put his hat right on the ball, popped out as Bogan tried to go Superman on him, and he was there to meet him. Great recovery by Sam Griesel. Bobcats were able to live to fight another day.
And that is our Lily Mae sweet play of the game here tonight at Davenport North. We will step aside. We'll get a scoreboard update with Jeff Brooks back at our KFJB studios when we come back right here on KFJB-TV.
Miller Middle School turns 100 next year. It has served generations of Marshalltown students well. Education has changed dramatically since Miller opened in 1925. Miller faces a long list of challenges, including limited technology capabilities, lack of space for learning, gathering, and new programming to prepare our students for the next step in their journey. Voters will consider a referendum in November to reimagine Miller for future generations. To learn more, go to MarshalltownCSDfuture.com.
How can you help Marshalltown High School and enjoy a mouth-watering burger at the same time? By ordering the Bobcat Burger at Legends American Grill. 2 quarter-pound patties with crisp bacon strips, sautéed onions, and melted American cheddar, jack, and Swiss cheeses on top of fresh shredded lettuce on a toasted bun. It's absolutely delicious. $1 from every Bobcat Burger sold is donated by Legends to Marshalltown High School activities. So, enjoy a Bobcat Burger and help MHS. The Bobcat Burger, another exclusive from Legends American Grill in Marshalltown.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
From the KFJB studios, I'm Jeff Brooks with a Central State Bank scoreboard update. Looking at the West Marshall score tonight, West Marshall didn't come out with such good luck. 13-16 against Hampton Dumont Cal this evening. West Marshall falls. Dowling, big takedown against Ankeny, big takedown against number 1 Dowling tonight. Ankeny wins 23-16. Fort Dodge takes down Dallas Center Grimes 20-17. Marshalltown Bobcats lose to Davenport North on the road tonight, 14-28. Also, East Marshall picks up another big win for their remarkable season so far against Eddyville Blakesburg. East Marshall won 35-0. Colonesco picks up the win at home against Glidden Ralston, 34-30. South Hamilton had a rough time against Roland Story tonight as they fall 56-0. this evening. Waukee versus Sioux City North. Waukee picks up the win 52-8, and South Hardin wins against Appleton Parkersburg 56-7. Also, Waukee Northwest picks up a win against Des Moines Roosevelt 56-13, and Council Bluffs Lincoln win over Des Moines East 35-6. Also, Valley wins over Johnston 34-24, and Ankeny Centennial picks up the win in Cedar Falls tonight 31-14. That's your Central State Bank scoreboard update. Now back to Brandon Lewis and Dylan Doze at
All right, thanks, Jeff. Boy, what a score there. Not number one in the state for long for Dowling.
Yeah, we were talking about this may not be the best Ankeny team because they've already lost to Centennial. Maybe Centennial's just really good as they took care of Cedar Falls as well. Big loss by Dowling. Surprised by that one.
Yeah, definitely so. As we'll see how things kind of shake out over the next couple of weeks. Still a lot to be figured out. A lot of football still to go. Kind of your final thought here tonight with a 28-14 loss on the road. I know Coach talked about it. Just guys being really, it's just, and we've noticed this too. Coming into tonight, we mentioned it, just being consistent. And there just hasn't been enough consistent football to get yourself a victory.
I feel like our B-back, Raglan or England have been consistent. Jacob's been consistent. Our slots have not been. Yeah. There's been some struggle there.
Defensive line pressure's been a little inconsistent too.
Right, and then offensive line keeping it off. I think that's a good word. I also think the other word is find the right recipe. You know what the ingredients are. You know what you have out there. But what's the right recipe? What's the right balance of pass run? What's the right personnel in different situations? And that's just a learning process and will be throughout the year.
Yeah, that is for sure. As Bobcats trying to get on the winning track of things next week, it doesn't get any easier as the Bobcats will be on the road to face off against their foe, the Newton Cardinals, which Newton has really just pretty much had the Bobcats' number over the past couple of years.
Our first year we watched, we called the game together. Marshalltown just destroyed them. And then the preceding years have not been as kind as Newton has taken care of the Bobcats. Bobcats just need a win in the worst way, and nothing would make us happier than do it against a rival in the Newton Cardinals.
Yeah, that is for sure. So the Bobcats on the road to take on the Newton Cardinals next Friday night. Pregame at 6:30, 7:30 is kickoff. Also coming up on Thursday, Dylan will be hosting Bobcat Live from Wayward Social. Be out there from 6 to 7 and see his smiling face.
We'll be out there. We'll have a good time. We'll have a party. If you want, I'll sign an 8x10 glossy. It doesn't even have to be a me or my signature, whatever you want.
You will not be kissing my baby because I will be not
I won't
present.
be kissing your baby, no. But I guess if there's babies out there,
I guess.
Who knows?
Who knows? Volleyball, will you be alongside for volleyball? I haven't seen you yet.
I will not be alongside for volleyball.
Are you traveling?
Is
this the Anaheim week?
That's in 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
That's in 2 weeks.
World traveler Dylan Doze.
That's right. I'm in Marshalltown all week long, so catch me while you can.
Yeah, Waterloo East, the opponent on Tuesday night for volleyball as Marshalltown looks to get back on track after a loss to Ames this previous Tuesday night. Well, for our KFJB-TV crew here on the road tonight, thanks so much to Stats, David Braga, Jeff Brooks back at our studios. Keith Stewart, Jesse DeMeyer on camera, Zach Tomish, our producer. For Dylan Doze, I'm Brandon Lewis. Have a great rest of your Friday night. 28-14, the final score is the Bobcats fall to 0-3. We'll talk to you next week in Newton. You've been watching Marshalltown Bobcat football right here on your home for the Cats and listening as well on News Talk 1230 AM, 93.9 FM, and right here on KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, State Farm, mtownproud.com.